Yo, yo.
Hey, well, what's up? You stuttering, man.
Oh boy.
You stuttering it up.
Uh-oh. Hold up a second.
Oh, no.
I think... What's going on
Are you
there?
downloading all those horse porns again?
All of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just hit a button and all of a sudden
Okay.
it's better.
Yeah, I was trying to mute Chrome, and it was acting up. There we go. We're better.
That's it. That's all it takes. Yo, what's up with cat shit? It stinks.
And it's full of the toxo.
It is full of the toxo. Now, I had the toxo a million years ago for sure, probably.
So you're immune to the voices then.
Probably. The voice, well, the voice says hug cat.
Is the voice? I was like,
Right.
Are you immune to the voices, or have you just formed your personality around them?
I think I had the voices already.
Okay.
I think I like maybe it's a little stronger. So apologies for the delay today, but I have a 17-year-old cat that fell into his poopies, and so we needed to take a very scary shower.
Ooh.
Showering with the cat is terrifying. This is the second time in a month I've told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very scary because you have a very angry creature. Because in the shower, cat reverts from pet to creature. Right?
Doesn't matter how
With
much time
sharp
passes.
knives on their hands.
No matter how much time passes, they still hate getting wet.
Yeah, and so you're naked in the shower, and you're just like, wow, I hope this creature doesn't grab a hold of anything important.
Man.
But on the plus side, when you have to bathe your elderly cat, they smell really nice afterwards.
There's no like shower booties or anything like that to cover up the claws for temporary.
Nah, man. You ever try to put clothes on a cat?
No, but I can imagine.
They don't like it.
Yeah,
They don't like it.
Yeah. I get I'm just like if they got a muzzle and a cone, and stuff like that, then I figure they might have something for exactly the scenario you're describing.
So they do. There's little plastic things you can put on a cat's claws to cover them up, but you have to like literally put a little hat on each individual claw.
Oh boy.
And the cat doesn't like that either.
Okay. Like an outlet plug or like a USB.
Yeah, a little
cover.
bit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's asking way too much. Fair enough.
Somebody just asked a question, why am I naked? Do you take showers covered in shit with all your clothes on? Bro, is that what you do? Make sure to really rub the poop into your clothes?
It's just we're fast forwarding the process here, and you're just why put risk on anything? Why not just cut straight to the chase?
Because then you put the cat in a towel and hand it off to your wife, and then you take a real shower right afterwards.
Boy. Okay. Well, that's a morning.
Yeah, man. It is.
That'll wake you up.
It is.
Cool. As far as weeks go, I didn't have a ton going on, but there is one thing that I have been playing, and I wanted to talk about it.
Iceman.
What the fuck is Iceman?
You know what? That's the best answer. That's the best answer in the world. Let's not dig into that at all and just continue.
Okay.
That is the funniest thing you could have possibly said.
Okay. Oh, is that one of the new Drakes?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even know what they're called. That's Jesus.
So funny, dude.
I don't even know what they're called. That's hilarious. That's really good. That's super funny. We are so checked out. I mean, yeah, all I caught was just the amount of people just laughing at the concept of like, it's been 2 years since the walk.
Dude, I'm not a rap aficionado. I dip my toe in now and then, right? This is like Fisher Price Casio speak and spell beats over like ad libs.
Yeah.
It's the worst shit ever. It's unbelievable.
All I saw was people just going, yo, never reheat 2-year-old beef. Right? Just don't do it. So Drake is still talking about the Kendrick Lamar fucking blowout. He's still hurt over it, and he's got that angry scar, and he's doing all the just jaded, scorned, all the things that show how hurt you are. After the lawsuits didn't work out, he's still making new music talking about the
he
beef.
put out 3 albums in a day, so I think he can get out of the deal with the studio that he sued.
Oh my God. So all I heard...
But like, I gotta tell you, most of it isn't even like his butthurt feelings. Most of it is, wow, this is trash.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible.
I just saw some people laughing at the fact that one of the songs is called Ran to Atlanta. Because it's like that's basically when he's trying to reclaim the thing that the verse where Kendrick was like, yeah, you basically appropriated and ran to Atlanta and hooked up with all these other people that were more influential than you, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna re-own that now, and it's nuts to still be on it. And like, I think literally after that, like, we're all gonna move on Super Bowl moment. Like, I don't think Kendrick ever mentioned anything pertaining to this ever again. No. He just moved on, as did the world. That's crazy.
So it's really funny because I'm scrolling through TikTok, and now once I watch a couple of videos, now I'm in the Drake algorithm, and I got to see just my favorite sequence of events, and this happens for anything, right? Which is, Drake puts out 3 albums. He is now all top 40 songs on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately very impressive. Now, granted, he put out 43 songs, and he's a very popular artist, so like that makes sense. But yeah, all top 40 spots. And then I woke up this morning and scrolled once, and it's like Drake suffers the largest decrease in streaming numbers in Spotify history. I'm like, oh, because people listen to the songs, and then went, I'm never listening to that shit again.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, someone just wrote, but the future refused to change. I don't know if that was meant to be a double entendre or not, but that was fucking bars if it was. If you understand what you're actually saying with that, that's incredible. Future did refuse to change. What is going on? What I was talking about, which deserves way more attention than
it sure does.
This
whatever it is,
reheated beef is disgusting, bro. No, this is interesting. I played the hardest card game I think I've ever played in my life. And that is a video game, card game, I should say.
Okay.
There's a game that came out called Howl. I don't know if you heard of it.
I have not.
It is a very beautiful indie style pixel art walk around, and you are a spirit who is basically like, it seems like,
oh, I got such a preview code for this.
Yeah, it looks like you're
I have heard of it.
It looks, yeah, I think it's pretty new, and or at least it's been around for a couple months, and you are a spirit of a mother who's seeking your child who is being taken into the afterlife, is basically the intro.
Yes.
And you're chasing after them.
I would like to apologize to Howl because I got sent a preview code, and I was like, this art looks great, and then I loaded it up and it showed a card at the bottom of the screen, and I turned it off and uninstalled it and erased it from my mind.
Wow. Okay, so you did take a look for a second. All right. So I kept going because I was curious based on the visuals and the fact that, I do enjoy a good deck builder, and I do enjoy some turn-based and grid-based tactics and all the things, I enjoy me some Slay the Spire, and I enjoy me some Into the Breach, all these things I've talked about, etc. So this game is basically doing all of that in one. And you walk around, and when you get into a fight, it becomes an isometric tactics grid. And then you get a deck of cards at the bottom of the screen, and you have to beat the enemies. And it is fucking insane how brutal this thing gets. Like, It's so wild in that it's basically, what I can tell what I'm walking into is a game for people who are extremely familiar with deck builders, extremely comfortable, and looking for a challenge. right? It does feel like this ain't for your first rodeo or your second or third.
I was just talking with Paige about this in the car, and I'm like, you can't tell people to die anymore because that's like too rude, right? We're past that part of the internet. But the word perish has taken its spot.
Then perish.
Because perish is non-directed. It's like, I guess you'll just perish. And what I hear from you describing this as somebody who you've played a bunch of card games, and if you're describing it as psycho brutal, then the game to you is saying perish.
Yeah, and and it's got some like particular kryptonite for me, but it's got some for you as well. And it's interesting to bring this up in the context of the game design, because what they're going for is what I feel like what they're going for is actually not the overuse of the term, but the actual Souls-like, you're thrown into a pit and it's insanely hard, figure your way out and survive, right? But the way the game works is when you walk into an enemy, and then the fight starts, and there's like 3 or 4 enemies on the board, and you have like 5 pips of 5 action points, as you would in, say, Slay the Spire, and cards have different costs, right? However, every step you take on the board costs an action point. Unless you have a particular card that moves you for the cost of 1, you want to walk 3 spaces, you're losing 3 of your 5 points.
Okay.
And then you only have 2 points to spend on all your cards, which cost anywhere from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, etc. And your good cards usually cost 2 or 3 in some cases.
Movement also costs?
Movement also costs. So your ability to do things in the game is extremely limited. This game is called Death Howl, again. Once you manage to fight something and take it on, whatever you hit, you'll do whatever damage. Let's say low single digits. Ernest, you do a couple hits here and there. If you do like 4 damage to something, that's considered holy shit. That's a ton, right?
Okay.
You have
low numbers.
Yeah.
Low baby numbers.
You have 20 HP total, personally.
Right.
When they hit you back, they hit you for like 6.
Oh.
When you take poison, you get poisoned, and you can also get like double damage status dropped on you by basic enemies, and suddenly that 1 damage of poison turns into 4 damage per turn that you're taking. Okay. Once you beat the fight, each time you kill an enemy, it gives you a kind of soul currency. The damage you take doesn't heal. You continue moving across the map, and you do not heal until you make it through more fights, till you get to your bonfire, quote unquote. Once you get to your bonfire, you can unlock it's a fast travel point you can go to, but you can heal up and turn your soul currency into things that add like skills to your character. But that same currency is also used to buy new cards.
This seems a lot.
So if you want to heal, you cannot make new cards.
Okay. But I want.
Okay.
This feels like Souls games and their progeny, I guess you would call it. They have like a really simple set of rules, which is hard, maybe even unfair encounters with full resets, and like the goal of long-term progression.
The most mistakes you can make are in that fight.
Now you're describing that like it pulls resources that you may or may not have gotten just to get your full reset.
Exactly. Furthermore, most of the time you're working your way over to, like, let's say a side quest or a main path, you're going to fight small group, big group at the end. And the big group with the harder enemies that can do 10 damage to you and basically 2-shot you, you're fighting that at the end of the gauntlet you've done, hoping that your 20 hit points can make it all the way and take out the big group, right? And then again, once you unlock that fast travel point, you can go back to them. However, if you pick up a side quest item, a side quest begins, and you can no longer quick teleport or fast travel. You must slowly walk your way through everything. Okay.
So this is a roguelite, right?
Yes. No, it's not. It's not a roguelite.
It's not. Okay, because Jigo Kuro in the chat was like, well, I don't understand. Slay the Spire does this because with camps where you get to either, buff or heal up. And I'm like, yeah, but Slay the Spire is a roguelite, which you're supposed to die 80, 90% of the time. This is like a continuous journey, right? This is like a proper single player game where you go level 1, level 2, level 3, area here, area there.
Yeah, it's really interesting in how they're going about this, and it's nuts. Well, why didn't you just say game is bad and move on? Because we're a podcast, and we're having a conversation, and I don't just think game is bad, but I want, because there's parts of the difficulty that I admire and like, and there's parts of it that I find insane and ridiculous. And by getting into the conversation about it, we'll have content and discuss something interesting about video games.
That is the shittiest fucking sentiment possible.
You see, because video games are interesting to talk about, and I think that there's something here worth discussing.
I'm going to talk about something that sucks ass in a couple of minutes, and I have like an hour in my gut to talk about it because it's interesting.
So, right. So you cannot fast travel anymore once you pick up a side quest card and begin a side quest, which puts you on a gauntlet. It's crazy, right? The challenge has never been higher, and essentially, when you die and you get spit back out to before the fight, your resources, your corpse run is that the soul currency that I'm talking about gets dropped on the board, and you have to go back and win the fight to get it, right?
Okay. All right, that's normal.
That's yeah. So that's there, or if you, but while it's on the board, you have to go pick it up, or every turn it ticks down until it goes away. So
that's a Lords of the Fallen mechanic.
Oh yes,
nobody liked it. Nobody liked that.
Your corpse is slowly deteriorating if you don't get to it fast enough. Yes. So the corpse is slowly deteriorating over turns. Furthermore, if an enemy goes on top of the corpse, it powers up.
Yeah.
And eats it like Bloodborne. And now the enemy has it and is harder to fight. Okay, so all this is established, and this is your baseline. This is what the difficulty of the game is doing. Needless to say that you start out and you make a left, you make a right, and there are enemies you cannot defeat right around you in the first starting area, right?
Got it.
And
very typical.
I'm kind of like, okay, come back later is the idea here. And you do get a little bit more powerful, and you come back later, and you're still getting absolutely curb stomped, because at no point does that HP of 20 points ever go higher, and things are still hitting you for more. I'm not seeing that level up occur, right?
You're just becoming a more perfect player.
You are getting more efficient at it, and you are spending those soul currency points to buy new cards, and those new cards are better. But, and this is a huge, huge thing now, with all this difficulty in place, I find it absurd and kind of obscene in places and nuts to be that brutal about things. But there's a lot of games I love that are all about the challenge. And if you know the genre and you're walking in going, yeah, like, fuck my shit up, fam, all of this makes sense, you know? What is crazy is that the actual path it sets you out on gives you 20 cards, and you have, how do I put this? The deck it gives you to start with is a losing deck that cannot win.
Oh, well, that's thematic, but also,
but like, if you keep playing and just buying cards and adding it to your deck as well, you will not be able to win, because it is too many cards and there's too many bad cards, and you will not get your good attack cards often enough to be able to survive. So the thing the tutorial gives you, there's no tutorial, but the thing that it introduces you with is incompatible with succeeding.
Well, I gotta tell you, you saying you're given a losing deck, and then following it up with the thing the tutorial gives you, no, wait, there's no tutorial, is like this whole conversation in fucking isolation.
So
that sounds so brutal.
So after like staring at this and going, well, hold on, what do you actually want from me, game? Because I hit the point of like going, this is insane, etc. All these layers, and after a point, I was like, wait, hold on, what do you actually want here, right? And so it turns out that like the way to actually play that the game doesn't explain to you is that you have to start removing cards from your deck. You have to learn to delete the cards from your rotation to get better stuff more frequently. You want about 15 cards, which is the minimum, and you basically want the minimum amount almost at all times to even have a shot at surviving. And the way that it sets you off down the wrong path is double nefarious in addition to everything I've just said, because some of the cards they give you are like block cards, which are, you'd think about using them the way Slay the Spire block works.
Sure.
But it's worthless because the block cards give you like 1 or 2 points of block in many cases. You're getting hit for numbers way above that. So that entire defensive mechanic of like trying to block the damage, you'll never block full incoming damage, and you're dedicating 5 or 4 of your 20 card deck towards cards that just do this. So it gives you
mitigate a tiny amount.
It gives you a failing mechanic as part of a deck that's too big to begin with and shoves you off and says go and puts all those things in place. It's batshit. It's the craziest thing. I can't believe it's this difficult and this insane.
There's something that I learned a while ago. There was a phrase that became popular in FF14, and ever since I learned it, I've discovered it's actually like true of almost every game I've ever played, which is the best mitigation is more damage.
Yeah.
The enemy can't hurt you if they're fucking dead.
Yes. And so the way I started succeeding and getting further into the game is by always carrying the minimum amount of cards, making sure that some of those cards exhaust so that I can get an even smaller rotation in the fight, and doing, just big number, and that's it. Also, you have to, it goes without saying, but you have to position yourself you have to know what the enemy's attack patterns are and know what all their attacks are and how to position to move around them, etc. Yeah. You can't just walk up, wing it, and hope for the best. Even if you're playing moving properly, because like I said, moving costs money, costs resources that you then can't play your best cards around, you still might get RNG'd out. You still might get fucked on with that, so it really is like, I'm looking at it as like I like the parts of this that are, well, besides the beautiful art style and the so far the story and
it's
really
very striking.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
It kind of looks like I wish what Nidhogg turned into.
Sure, I can see that. Yep, that art style expanding into itself
instead of never making a sequel.
I like the idea of like some of the, obviously the not hand holding games can be hard and present you with hard challenges that you've got to come and smash your head up against. But the idea of like, it's not just the undead asylum, it's also like giving you the wrong equipment that's going to make you, it's making you encumbered. It's not just Undead Asylum, it's Undead Asylum, plus you have heavy shit on, which makes you, with bad defense, and when you roll, you can't roll properly, but you don't know that you're supposed to take your shit off. And it sends you into the fight, and you can't move or do anything, and you're not blocking any damage, really, because anytime you hold up that shitty shield, all that damage gets taken, and you can only fat roll. And the game was like, yeah, actually, you are supposed to take it all off and play naked. Idiot.
And you know what, man? The guy who just got every achievement in Slay the Spire 2 and is sick of his 1000th and 20th run of Caves of Cud hears this description and goes, yeah!
Must be, But that's kind of the bit, is like, the stuff where it actively gives you like bad things is where I'm like, this is too much. This is madness, you know. Furthermore, I'll just get a side note. There's some controller problems as well. Like if you play with the mouse, you're fine, but on a controller, it doesn't select the UI properly. Pathing is bad, which is really annoying because there'll be a trap. You'll have traps on the board sometimes, and you'll be like, I'm going to step around this, and then it's like, nope, the auto pathing says you have to go on it. Like, but I can use the same number of moves to avoid it, and it's like, nope, right? So the shit that you're just like, this is actively annoying and hostile. There are things you could pick up that are like rings to continue the Souls analogy here. But those rings will be a really good benefit. But the condition is it adds more cards to your deck.
No, I hate it.
Which then makes the whole thing pointless.
That condition better be pretty fucking great.
It wasn't. It's not. So far, the 2-3 that I've picked up that do that, it's not. It's never been worth it. Yeah,
fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm blown away by, as each of these new things get introduced, how actively hostile this game can be towards the player. And if you are a deck building aficionado, if you're fucking living and breathing that world,
if you are strong,
you might be able to run this and parse it and be like, I want to suffer, hit it in my veins as hard as possible.
It seems like from what I can tell, I was looking over the Steam reviews, for the people that fit that mold, like, this game is great. Like, the top Steam review on this game's page is like, hey, you have to absolutely adore deck builders and grid-based strategy games and be good at both.
And you must be a master of both, because you don't have the resources to move efficiently. Or if you have, like, a lot of the time, just playing it straightforward, you will be like, your thoughts are, let me walk up to that thing and hit it. And you spend the points to walk up to the thing, then you only have enough points left to swing once and hit it for a little bit of damage, and then you can't move to safety. So then you just die, you know? Yes, it really is. And I will say that, like, it also is a game without perfect information, so you don't know where the enemy is going to move in advance, so you can't plan around that in a puzzle-like way either, you know? Yeah. Oh, and there's other little wrinkles to it these are more interesting quirks of the system, but it's the world is split into these different areas, but every area has its own nature deck that is associated to the area, and then you have colorless cards that are permanently with you. And if you choose to make like cards from the area, then you can get like benefits to playing the same card in its own, but it's more expensive if you play it in different areas, you know? So
that's
little fun things like that
incredibly complicated.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but like, of course, again, you in the hunt for synergies, which is the only way to survive, like you basically have to like sacrifice a lot of your options, you know? And what I ended up doing is, because I kept playing and I started to figure it out, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I see what's going on here. And it does scratch the itch that I have when things are going well, but god damn it. And it does also feel like the start of the game is going to probably be the hardest, because as you get better cards, let's see how the enemies and stuff ramp up on you. But you know, what I kind of ended up doing was like, okay, I had a deck where with the bare minimum, my first attack was cheap and it would push enemies away, and then my second attack was ranged, and then I would just spend my last points to move out of the way of attacking. Or there's certain cards where if you choose to discard them on purpose, because a lot of your attacks also will say discard 2 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
So if you have like 3 attacks, you're not going to get to do 3. You're going to do 1 good one and 2 are going to get discarded. But you can put stuff in your hand where you get a benefit for discarding. So it'll draw a new card, or it'll give you 1 point of shield or something like that. So there is a rhyme and reason and rhythm to it here, but it of course explains nothing. And if you want to go hammer nails into your foot virtually, but you're down.
Maybe I do.
But you might be down for it. It's cool.
I'm glad to. Here's where I'm at. I'm glad to hammer nails into my foot all day if the hammer and the nails are consistent and don't change shape. That's where I'm at, right? I threw myself into the grinder on on Mr. Radon for like a full evening because it was the same thing every time, and I could learn how to handle that hammer.
But this this run, you don't have the same weapon, and you don't have the same spells, and your shit's changing as you go.
That's too much.
Hope the RNG is in your favor. Hope RNG is on your side.
I've beaten like Enter the Gungeon like 10 times, and that shit can get really hard, but like your personal strength can also scale to infinity in a game like that. Same with the enemy forces. You don't seem to be describing a game that can like fucking scale your own power to infinity.
Yeah. Again, knowledge adds a good bit, and like upgrading your character to certain ways. Like one upgrade I got after putting a bunch of those excess points in, which you might never do if you want to build new cards. If you build up enough, if you build up enough excess points and put them into the skill tree, one of the things is when you kill an enemy, you get one of its moves as a card you can play.
Oh, that's cool.
And then that might help you survive the fight if it's got a really good card on its hand. Like there's this one owl that basically just like stares at you and does 10 points of damage, like if you kill it. But you get one really good move for one really good turn. It's gonna be gone in this turn if you don't have the points for it. By the way, yeah. So Death's Howl is the name of it, and it is definitely a masterclass in this is hard to insane good mixed with this is hard to insane bad. And it's both. It's making me feel both things, and I haven't quit it yet, but I want to see as I go further in which of the two is gonna come out on top. I might stop. I might stop. I don't know.
You're probably gonna stop.
It's very pretty.
In a world in which you have highly limited time.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, would you like my review of the PlayStation 5 roguelike shooter sequel to Returnal, Saros?
Saros, yes, Returnal 2.
It's a one-sentence review.
Oh.
I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and I scrolled down. I'm like, should I play Saros? And I moved my controller one thing to the left and went, $100!
Oh, my God.
All right.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
Hold on. Is it the same length as Returnal?
Yeah. Give or take.
Jesus, that's Canadian.
Yeah. Plus tax. It's $104, $105 with tax.
Yep. How long to beat? 20 hours. Oh my God. Yeah. I had a similar experience. Someone recommended that new anime racing game that looks super realistic, but they have anime characters.
Yes. I also was going to look at that.
Okay. What was it? I forgot what it's called. Shifter or something?
I also forgot what it was called because
Screamer.
this exact scenario happened.
Screamer.
Yeah. This exact scenario also happened.
I was like, oh yeah, that new game that's like a realistic
I'll
thing.
do a stream of that.
Let's take a look.
No, I won't.
$80. Is there a demo? No. Why not? How is there not a demo for this $80 racing game? Yeah. I was like, this is a full that's crazy, with no way to preview, see what's going on. And then on top of that too, and this is just me, but like I was like, okay, this thing with the anime characters in it, who made it? What else do they make? I got to figure out if this is who's the producer on this that's making this game cost this much. And it's the folks that make MotoGP. And when I looked down their list of previous games, I saw that it was all previous MotoGPs and other racing games.
Yeah.
And that kind of bummed me out because I realized that I don't want a racing game from people that make racing games. I want a racing game from someone that made some other shit. Because then I'm like, if you told me,
so right.
If you told me you made like Tetris and now you're making a racing game, I'm way more interested in what you have to say about racing.
Okay, so hey, do you want to buy Saros, the new PlayStation exclusive roguelike, or do you want to play Mugenics and Hades 2 for the same price.
That price is madness, dude. Oh my god. Yeah.
Come on. I just went and double checked. On Steam.
It actively paused me in my tracks. I was like, yeah. Like for example, though, because it was mentioned it's like this is like it's fighting game coded in a racing game, and I was like, well, I do remember that other fighting game coded racing game, Buck Up and Drive, where it's split screen, Top Gear view, like Outrun style, and you're both driving and spinning at each other on the track, trying to hit each other and make each other crash while you're racing, and that shit's dope as fuck. And you have life bars. It's great, you know, like you're road rashing, but 2-player and fucking going at it. And that's I want ideas like that coming to the genre from outside, you know. Burnout is sick, and Split Second is sick, and all these games were very cool.
Split Second, oh my god, what a great game with only one flaw. Did you play a lot of Split Second?
Not a ton, but I was watching Shmup God Pat play a bunch of it too.
Because I got about 80-90% of the way through Split Second, and it was like it controlled so well, and the race gimmick was very so sick. Awesome. Mm-hmm. And then if you were in front on the last lap of any track, the CPU would go twice the max speed of their car to just fly past you in a way that made it unwinnable.
Yeah. All this to say ultimately that I'm like I'm infinitely more interested when that's who's behind it. You know, that pricing is madness. I can't. What?
That's my review. My review is me live on stream going $100. No thanks.
Wasn't Returnal also expensive on release?
It was
$60.
Hey Wooly, because I'm sure this is in the news about all the consoles getting more expensive. It's a bad sign when people who stream video games every day look at the price of your game and go, yeah, right, no thanks.
I mean, my first thing...
That's dire.
The first thing I do is I go, like, is there a demo? And second...
Oh, Returnal was $40, apparently.
Okay, and then second I go, like, is this a, like,
Returnal was 109 CAD. Wow. 59...
$60. I saw $60.
Everyone's arguing. About how much the game costs.
All right, well, fight amongst ourselves, and the person who survives was correct.
That's how it works.
Anyway, that's what are you doing, guys? You know, okay, and then at that point, of course, Reggie was like, well, you have a demo. It's called 1 hour and 59 minutes. Right, and it's like, yeah,
on Steam.
Yeah, I guess so.
On Steam,
which I've never really done that thing. I haven't done the review, the return thing at all. But
really, never.
Nah. But it just is
because I've picked up games and spent like 90 minutes like fucking with them and be like, I can't get this game to run at all.
Right.
Like I can't get it to fucking boot, or this runs so bad that I'm gonna send it back. Like that's my primary use for review. Like I bought Battlefield 5 on release, or 6 on release, and I was excited to play it. Couldn't get it to boot for 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that. That's crazy.
And like it costs like $100. I'm like, I'm not fucking fuck that.
There's a couple times where I play something, and if I'm like, I don't get what's going on here, I'm almost like, I'm so used to possibly learning after the fact, oh, you didn't, there's something you're missing that made this all click. For example, once this podcast is out, someone might get in touch and be like, oh, Death Howl, here's what you didn't know about it.
Actually, there's like this one little trick, Death Howl hates it.
And this is what makes the game make sense, you know, or something to that effect. And at that point, you were long past that 2 hour mark, but yeah. In any case, that's wild on that pricing. Yeah, and I guess the only other thing I was going to bring up too was I got to try some of that Team Fight Fuse, and
I had this in my gut, and it was like, hey, so I have seen some opinion.
Yeah,
and I have not messed with it myself, and I would like to know, is this as fucked as I am seeing people talk about?
So It's hard to say, but I think that like what we have right now, evidence wise, is just there's the competitive side, and then there's the casual side, and then there's just the overall what's good for the game, right? One, I'll say that like as far as what's good for the game goes, this is a brilliant move. It's super smart because it's just it's the most fun fuse easily by far. Easily.
Well, let's have the other two parts of the discussion before we decide that it's good for the game.
Sure. It is banned from Combo Breaker, understandably, not because of like what it is, but mainly because if you signed up as a duo or as a single, it's too late to change your registration.
That's new character rules.
And so the mechanics of how to set the tournament up around this thing that wasn't there at the time of your registration, which is now locked, don't make sense.
That's fair. That's super fair.
That makes sense. Yeah. What is happening is, of course, lots of the top players are, as we were talking about last week, talking about how this feels just way too busted, feels insane, and it'll be too strong, and it'll feel too much like a wacky party thing inside of the game competitively.
Are you playing Guilty Gear Usuka here?
And then there's like casually the part where it is a really fun thing. It is a blast, and it encourages people to just team up with anybody and just press buttons, just do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You have a limited amount of time to do stuff, and there's downsides to it. But in general, if you want to jump on with a friend or do the duo finder, and I've seen a bunch of people that like are just jumping on duo finder and just hitting the comms and playing together with no real game plan. You just jump, you just call in your partner and go nuts. I think that's healthy for like encouraging what the game's philosophy is and getting people to play duos more. So plus it's not like the insane batshit nonsense of Street Fighter Cross Tekken's mode where it literally never stopped is stupid. Yeah. And the Marvel Infinite version where it resurrected your dead character was also stupid, right? So this being the 7-second limiter on it, we'll have to see like what the right amount of time is, but it feels like it can be tamed. And so Sonic Fox was saying it can be nuts, but also you can counterplay it. And so this is kind of overblown because once you kind of understand how to address it and defend against it, everything seems really strong at first until you learn how to play around it. I'm not to draw it out too long, but like the fact that you have to spend both your bars on you and your partner's side, the fact that you can defeat them by hitting the partner and knocking them away, and that you only have to block one character's mix-ups because the other person is always hitting mid, right? You don't have to worry about overheads or anything like that. There's stuff like that where you're like, you can fight back, you know?
Now, that's all on paper.
On paper, yeah.
What's your actual experience of using it? Do you use it and people's brains just shut off and go, oh, fuck?
My actual experience of using it and then fighting against it and then playing the rest of the normal matches is that freestyle is still stronger and harder to fight against.
I'm actually watching you fight somebody with freestyle right now.
Freestyle
still seems really
freestyle is more insane. It is
need to
right.
I need to do something about that.
It is so team fight is really strong, but freestyle is still crazier. And like the best way I summed it up to talking to Reggie about it was like when you have those 7 seconds begin, you have 7 seconds of your brain going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, and you have to really like pay attention and panic and deal with the chaos.
Yeah,
freestyle, that is happening for the whole match.
Is there an assist on the screen? Split your attention.
Yeah, and then you wait for the cooldown every 6 seconds, and then it'll be there again. And with team fight, once they spend the meter, they're out of meter, so then they can't do it again. So you might not even see it, for the rest of that match. They also, if they spend their meter trying to parry, trying to end a combo with a normal super, doing a level 3, all these things that take meter mean they can no longer team fight, So like it's unlike freestyle, which is always going to be there. You just wait for the cooldown. So freestyle is still a better fuse automatically. I'm like, I fear that more. And I was able to fight against people doing team fight stuff and fight back. I was able to kind of deal with a couple folks that were like, some people's game plan was round start, back off, call in the team fight, rah, go in, right? Like, I'm not even going to stop for a second. And I was able to, like, bionic arm those people, you know, block a little bit, get them off, etc., and then just kind of handle it, and then they're fucked. So that's how it felt in execution. Also, when me and Reggie were kind of just trying to figure out how to make it work, we were getting some cool synergies going, but, like, it didn't feel like it was better than we were individually, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of how I felt about it, is that it feels like very strong, but not that, but it feels like freestyle is better. And the best.
What about at the casual bitch baby level?
At the casual bitch baby level,
because I assume, like, because one of the things that 2XKO has had a problem with is, like, they'll have a character like, you know, Braum, and they'll be like, Braum is fine because he dominates at low levels, and it's like, yeah, but he sucks at high levels, right? And vice versa with various fuses and whatnot. And it's like, because if you have something that it's like at top tier, it's totally balanced because you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, but it just completely fucking stomps out new players 100%. That's also a problem.
Yeah, I saw one of the most insane videos was to kill Sage with Braum and Teemo, and Braum jumps out, holds the shield up, the opponent's in the corner, and Teemo just
does their bullshit,
just throws poison at them. And that's it, right? That was disgusting. Yeah, I feel so. At the casual level, you call in both characters, and they both hit you and start wailing on you for like about 650 damage, and that's like a really good double down combo, or you know, a basic like they're doing the amount of damage they're doing when they both touch you is the same amount as a really good extended combo from, you know, any of the other fuses. So, but the difference, of course, is, again, here you used 2 beater from each of your character to do it versus 1 bar and your cooldown assist. So that's what I think is happening casually. Another really good angle for this is, I don't know if you heard about it, but there was a Red Bull knockout event that took place.
I did not hear about this.
And the Red Bull event had duos doing team fight a bunch. It was a bunch of players bringing that in. And we got to see what high-level optimized, you know, versions of the game of it looks like. And there's some really cool, insane shit, right? There's some nuts combos that involve, like, I think it was like Ari and Teemo just kind of like, OTG spike, and they're just like volleyballing the opponent off the ground for 7 seconds, you know, building up what's happening is Teemo is building up his mushroom, you know, or his other like stuff, his badges, right? But in the end, the final match was Sonic Fox and Inzem using team fight versus the Twins. And I don't know if you've heard about the Twins, but
I have not heard about the Twins.
The Twins is the coolest shit in the world. Here's why. They're the strongest Japanese players. Mm-hmm. They're literally twin brothers playing duos in 2XKO. And they basically are like the epitome of thinking the same with the same brain. You
ever see those little things where you have like twin 5-year-olds, but you separate them by like a door? And you say, okay, guys, raise a hand or stand on 1 foot or do a dance. And like 9 times out of 10, they'll do the same thing.
It's crazy.
Because it's the same guts.
Yeah.
It's the same like pieces.
So the Twins, that's the name spelled out TWINZ, are drift compatible fighting game players that are crushing it in Japan, and they're so strong. And they won. They beat Sonic Fox and Inzem for grand finals, and they did so using freestyle. You know, so that they're still like they're showing the power of that fuse, right? All that's great. All that's super fun. It's really hype as well because, you know, like they're always playing together. That's the deal. And then at the end of the match, Damascus gets up and goes, "I want more," and he pulls out a second first place trophy, and he puts it down, and he's like, now that grand finals is finished, for the real winner, you two have to fight each other.
It's like good old Double Dragon.
Yeah. Fucking Double Dragon rules. So they're like, let's go, right? You both get your trophy, but like one of you is the real winner. Do you accept? And they're like, let's run it. And I don't think they've ever been seen fighting individually before. I don't think they've ever been seen playing the game not together. So they had to face each other down, and the portrait on the screen, which had the two of them together, becomes like a versus, you know? And then, just to show you how much they understand the bit in the moment, they're like, okay, we always fight together. We've never been seen alone. Juggernaut versus Juggernaut.
Of course. Perfect.
Amazing. It was so hype. It was a brilliant fucking way to end things off. Fucking kudos, man. France, they ran a sick event. And yeah, and in the end, the twin whose name shows up more is Haru, but the other brother won, actually. It was Toshi who won the set, but really cool like bit and a good gimmick. And I don't know that like this is always applicable, but for at least this kind of event where duos are encouraged, double dragoning at the end just to fucking run the set and see who gets the real trophy is hype as hell.
That is kind of like a storybook kind of, you like, that's how you would write it.
And of course it's first to one. It's not a real, you know, placement in the bracket or anything. They could decline if they wanted to, but of course you like, yo, let's fucking make it hype, guys, you know. And in the end, too, he chose the trophy that had his brother's character on it because it's like, nah, fuck you, I want that one with Yasuo. Yeah, so that was great. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. Just want to remind folks that this week gonna be heading out to Anime North. So I'm gonna take Wednesday. I'm not gonna stream on Wednesday. I'm gonna take it to just prepare because we have a lot of packing and stuff to figure out, logistics, etc. In Toronto, Anime North, there's gonna be a Wooly versus panel. There's gonna be a versus Wolves panel. Gonna be going down with Reggie. John's gonna be in tow. Come hang out. It'll be the 22nd to the 24th this weekend, and then as a heads up, the week following, I'm going to stick around in Toronto. There's some family and people to visit over there. So I'm not going to be streaming all of next week. Podcast, I'm going to give it a shot based on the setup we have.
We'll see what we can do.
But in terms of the regular stream, that'll be gone, and I'll be back to regular streaming as of June. So once the new month starts, I'll be back, and that'll be the plan. And because there's only that much time left, allow me to just remind everyone that we're closing in on just about a week left to go grab your Reggie. So go hit up the makeshift Reggie in the lab campaign, and get yourself a little Reggie, because that thing's going to be gone forever in just over a week from now.
Forever? Oh my goodness!
Forever, ever. All right. What's going on? Oh, yeah. And Phoenix Wright and Pragmata are going to continue, of course.
Of course.
What's going on?
It was Caboose's 4th birthday. Hooray, Caboose. You had a birthday. Good job. Oh.
Little Boozy.
Little Boozy had a birthday. He got extra treats on his birthday, but not too many because we got to keep him trim so his knees don't explode because he's crippled.
This is important.
And as a result, I had a big old 24-hour stream again because, man, I actually think those things are a fucking blast. I had a lot easier time with this 24-hour one than I did the last one.
Are you getting the hang of them?
No, I got a better night's sleep beforehand.
Fair enough.
So the first one, I actually, you know when you have like a very important alarm to wake up for, and so you're like, bah! It's 4. Bah!
Yes.
It's 5:30.
Yeah.
I had one of those, right? This time, that didn't happen, and I decided to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, which was like half an hour after I got up, instead of 2.5 hours after I got up. Because that first 24-hour stream between like 8 and 10 a.m., that's when I started to turn into a fucking bowl of yogurt. Just.
Wait. You started right after waking up this time?
Right after waking up. I got up at 7:35, took a shower, and came over to the office.
Oh my God, we're different people. I can't. My day cannot begin.
And I got right into it too. Like, you can go watch the beginning. It's it's right into it.
My boot up process is like hours long, man. Holy shit. Okay.
I gotta get up with the guy every morning, and he wants to read books and go to the park and eat breakfast.
Fair enough. Obviously, I am night parent.
It will, See, I became morning parent. It just worked out that way. Anyway, so the three games that have only the most tangential relation to Caboose's birthday, because they all featured gross dog creatures in them. I played Reanimal, which is functionally Little Nightmares 3. It's not called Little Nightmares 3. There is a game that is literally called Little Nightmares 3.
Isn't the
but
font,
that's because Ben...
Isn't the font just the font of Little Nightmares?
Yeah,
it's really
but,
like...
No, it's not. It's like block font instead. But regardless, Bandai Namco owns the name Little Nightmares. So when the team wanted to leave Bandai Namco, they had to make their own game, and it's called Reanimal. It's very good. In terms of games that are your tiny child character in a spooky environment, being Limbo, Inside, Little Nightmares 1 and 2 and 3, and Reanimal, this is definitely a confident the second best one
of the trilogy, quadrilogy.
No, of all of that whole genre.
Okay.
I would say Inside takes it away.
Oh, okay.
Inside is
okay. Hold on, we're counting
immaculate.
We're counting Reanimal, Inside, and Little Nightmares 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like that and Limbo,
yeah,
right? Because that's like a whole genre in and of itself, right? Mm-hmm. It has full co-op, which is fun. I didn't use it, but it is fun. And it is a really well-made little trip through a bunch of very spooky environments with an extraordinarily confusing story that ends very confusingly. But yeah, it's just a bunch of great puzzle and action scenarios with running and platforming in this very, very cool aesthetic. It's a very easy game to review. Very good. Very short. I picked it up.
They all are, right?
And I blew through it in 4.5 hours. And I don't know about replay value. There's some hidden masks you can find, but
well, okay. What I'm thinking of, I don't know about Little Nightmares, but with Inside and the other one we just said,
Limbo. Little Nightmare.
I wouldn't think of replaying either. I would think of just that one run through, and then the plot is very simple and cinematic.
So Inside had a couple of things that you could find that would change it. There was a fundamentally different ending to Inside that you could find very early in the game. But these are not these are replay because I want to do it again, not because there's something different that I might find. But yeah, no, I think Reanimal is great, and if you're kind of into that, then it's absolutely a game to play. It's also getting DLC, which I assume is why the ending is a little flat. It's a little confusing for confusing's sake. It's one of those stories that it plays it straight, and then you get about halfway through, and you realize that a significant proportion of what you're seeing is metaphorical, directly metaphorical instead of literal.
Yeah, I'm also remembering the Little Nightmares 3 apparently is not great compared to the first two.
I also heard that, and that's why I didn't play it.
Yeah. No, my tattoo artist was super into them, and I remember he was just telling me that the third one just shits the bed for some reason. Dunno.
Oh, there is a secret ending in Reanimal. Interesting. Well, that's cool. I wonder what it gets you. But yeah, no, very cool game. No notes. It's a really cool little game. If you like any of the prior ones that I mentioned, you should check it out. Then we banged that one out, and we gave Caboose some treats, and we put a little party hat on him. And me and Paige wore this pug hat.
Yeah.
Which I can't wear because it gives me migraines. And Paige wore it for about 10 minutes, and she's like, "Oh my god, my head is sweating. Oh my god."
Is it the wrong size?
No, it has nothing to do. It's a headband.
So, it's elastic. Okay.
It's a furry like headband.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. That'll squeeze.
If I wear that on my head, I'll get migraines, and I'm not going to get migraines 5 hours into a 24-hour stream.
Yep.
Not going to do it. And then Paige also had to take it off because the pug fur shit on it is so warm that it was causing her head to sweat. Like, that's not good either. And then we played the new game in the Dark Pictures anthology, Directive 8020. So before we even start, let's go through the hit list of the dev team behind Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures.
And after you
Until Dawn.
After you say each one, remind me, good or bad.
Until Dawn was great.
Good.
Everybody loves Until Dawn.
Except for that one part.
Man of Medan. What's that?
Except for that one thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Until Dawn's fantastic.
It's great.
Man of Medan, some people think it's good, some people think it's all right, but it's like on the positive side of things, right? Little Hope is the worst game they've ever made easy. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. It's offensively bad. House of Ashes, good game. Good game, House of Ashes. The Devil in Me, not a good game. Not good. I wouldn't say it's like terrible, but just not good. The Quarry's okay. Some people like it. I'm not a big fan. Casting of Frank Stone, me and Paige gave up. We got halfway through that shit and just quit.
Okay.
Boring shit.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember
it's the Dead by Daylight one.
There was one of them that you just ripped to fucking shreds. I guess that was the one. Yeah,
yeah. And the other thing is that Dead by Daylight was supposed to have Frank Stone be a killer in their upcoming, roster, and they canceled that because of response to casting Frank Stone.
Okay.
Like, fuck that game. And now we're here at Directive 8020, and Directive 8020 says, hey, do you want a really incompetent remake of The Thing?
Oh, God, I'm offended. Oh, fuck off. I just got here to this Thing Appreciation Club. I just arrived, and I'm super mad at that.
The Thing is so incredible because it came out in the 80s or the 70s. It came out a long time ago, and you can watch it today and be like, wow, this is obviously one of the best movies ever made.
It's literally a perfect film. I watched it like fucking whatever a year ago. It is a perfect film. End of story. Move on.
All right, so I'm going to go over some real basic things. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we're going to go over the basics. So, Dark Pictures game. You can pass the controller back and forth to play as different characters. They added a round-robin mode now, so you're not locked into different characters. You just pass the controller back and forth.
I'm sorry. This is so unfair because by setting that up, now I'm just like, okay, so we're thinking about The Thing, right? All right, go on, talk about this game now. Like, it's...
Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing. Wooly. The game's advertising is absolutely clear. It's about a monster that can mimic you and pretend to be you, and it could be anything.
No, that's the problem. Here's the thing is the problem.
Yeah. So, and no, I'm not going to spoiler cast it because it's a narrative experience. It's a narrative adventure. People can go into it as they want. And also, more importantly, I don't have to spoil the game to talk about the problems. Right? So, that's your setup. So, first of all, it is a full-size game. It is. So the Dark Pictures anthology have traditionally been 3 or 4 hours long. And they've been like short little things, and they come out relatively often, so they do a bunch of different ideas. This is a bigger one. It's closer to like Until Dawn sized and The Quarry.
Wow, okay.
That is a bad move. The core conceit doesn't last long enough, and in fact, you feel them stretch it like quite long. So the first thing that happens is the very first thing that happens is you have a Canadian guy on the spaceship that is clearly a British or Irish person trying to do a Canadian accent, and it is the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. It is terrible. And in fact, most of the acting is quite bad. So bad start. Bad start. Real bad start.
Performance capture is a huge part of these games.
Yeah, bad, not good. So, we go through, managing the space station. Oh, I'm going to talk to the robot. Which choice will you make? And I'll give you that little thing about, you've branched the path. Now so-and-so is the caring version of themselves. They'll act differently in a later cutscene. That kind of thing, like you would expect from Until Dawn. The story is that a big, gross alien monster hits your ship with a big pile of goo on the way to a planet to colonize it, and the big pile of goo starts replicating members of the crew and start being an evil monster. Like the thing. Mm-hmm. Problems start immediately, and I mean immediately. The first scene in the game in which you see a monster pretending to be another person, it is a hunched over lady with a hoodie over her face to hide her identity, and the only choice available to you playing the game is to push up on the analog stick to go closer to her with your hand out, going, hey, are you okay? Hey. In a game about making choices, this is one of the most important choices I could possibly make, and I didn't want to make this choice. This leads to a struggle and a fight. But of weird note is that right away, this is the first encounter. Okay, we've encountered a hostile lady who the player knows that it's an alien monster that changed, right? And it decides to chase our hero around as a human being with a stick.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't turn into a monster or do anything weird. Well, it's like,
is it moving super fast, and does it have the ability to kill you with that stuff?
No. No, it can't kill you, yeah, but it's just walking around.
Okay.
And here we go. And we in this section, we have discovered how they've decided to make this more of a real video game.
That's not very Among Us.
It's not, but it is Among Us. We'll get there in a second. And the way that they've decided that, hey, these have recently been they're choose your own adventures, right? Your only gameplay is quick time events and exploring an area and choosing story outcomes, right? Like, that's been the narrative structure of nearly all of these games for a while. Mm-hmm. And the people behind the Dark Pictures anthology, and they said, you know what we need to do? We're going to make this more of a video game. We're going to put gameplay in here. And what they have decided to do, they have added the gameplay of really bad stealth sequences.
Okay.
As you crouch behind waist-high sci-fi cover in a very basic stealth game. Mm-hmm. And, oh my God, Ronnie Salmon in the chat calls it sawdust gameplay. Oh my God, that is a great term. Because it's just there for filler. It's just there for filler. Mm-hmm. Very, very dull stealth gameplay. And we do it in the first section, and I go, well, at least we're not going to do that often.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we load up and we get our bunch of characters, and then we establish that there's problems with the ship, and they're trying to figure out why that character's acting weird, and the player knows that it's because they're an alien, and so on and so forth. This is where we discovered that they're not just cribbing from the thing, they're also cribbing from Alien. So we have like a 1-to-1 recreation of Dallas going in the vents to seal the alien off. Stuff like that. And it's all like pretty mediocre in terms of like acting and plot. When the real problems start happening, and I mean big systemic problems, is a couple hours in you get to play as a guy named Cernan. He's a Turkish guy that me and Paige incorrectly thought was German, so we did a German accent for all of his dialogue in the entire game, only to find out after we beat it that he was from Turkey. Oops.
That's fine. We've been throwing a German
idiots.
accent on Franziska von Karma, even though her objection is unaccented. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine. And we play a section of Cernan. We get to know Cernan. And then the game goes 22 hours later and does like a big red thing and like skips forward in time. And what we do as Cernan is we do a stealth sequence from the alien pretending to be a member of the crew, which I succeeded and got away. Then we flash back to the present, now knowing that Cernan is guaranteed to survive all events until that happens.
Right. Yeah.
Which that happens with 3 characters where they flash forward to sections at the end of the game, and then you succeed them. And then the game tries to go, oh no, so-and-so's trapped in the ice lab. You should save them. And I'm like, I don't have to save them.
They're going to make it.
Because they're alive in a later scene.
Yeah, totally. But they might hate you.
Yeah, but like it is a massive systemic like narrative issue that like permeates the first like 80% of the game.
That would
right?
My overactive like plot brain would fucking zoom in on that and hate it.
Well, we started to make decisions based on whether or not we knew characters were quote unquote safe for later.
Right.
That's wrong.
That's terrible.
That's not how you're supposed to play or enjoy a narrative game, right? And like I look back on that and it's like, oh, those sections in the early game have nothing actiony or exciting going on at all. So I am of the opinion that these scenes from later in the game were spliced back into the beginning to help with pacing.
It sounds like you're describing a game that's like the same length as all the others, except they're fucking dragging that shit. Yeah.
So this is a minor spoiler, but it is the biggest part of the game's problem, and it is a fundamental mistake in how it goes. It takes the vast majority of the game, I think 6 out of 8 chapters, for even one character to suspect that the alien is mimicking people.
Oh, and you know right away.
You know within the first interaction.
That's fucking annoying.
This means you go through scene after scene after scene after scene where they're like, why are they acting so strange? Or how'd these extra people get on the ship? And you're like, because it's the fucking alien. Like,
yeah. So like, Steelman, a good old John Carpenter, or a good old, Ridley, is going to take its time before the threat is unveiled.
Sure. Would you say 6 of 8 hours?
No.
And as soon as we have that moment, we have multiple scenes in which characters are split up, right? In some kind of action sequence, and everyone's suspicious. And then they meet back up and nothing. Oh, okay. If I told you that this is a game based off The Thing and the Thing monster, and it features one which one do I shoot moment in the entire game, would you be surprised?
Wow. Okay. So is it just
one?
So is it just mainly like, I don't know if the group I'm with is
No, it's not like that at all. It comes up once. Weird. And there's a bunch of reasons for this. There's a bunch of like mechanical reasons for this that I don't think they planned around correctly. One of which is that when the alien is imitating somebody, about half the time it speaks, it has audible distortion, like monster distortion on its voice.
Yeah, okay. So you can't actually blend in with anybody.
Yeah.
You can see them for 2 seconds.
Or they'll be like, just open the door. I'm your friend. Why don't you? And it's like, it's fooling no one.
Right. It's doing monster trap shit.
And it's like, if you're not going to have them trick the player into who's a doppelganger or not, why are you using doppelganger? But the second one, and this is really important, I had characters get injured and lose an eye. I had characters get injured and have frostbite damage and fire damage and get scuffed up and bleed and have cuts on their faces. We discovered very early that every doppelganger that is presented will be pristine and uninjured. Mm-hmm. This led to a scene in which there was a room full of injured people and them going, it could be any of us. And I'm like, it can't be them, or them.
Because they're hurt.
Because they still have the injuries from the earlier scene.
Right.
And I'm like, this is this is the guts of this type of story, is it could be anybody. And I never thought that once.
And what you just described is also applicable in a game like No, I'm Not a Human, but that's the actual gameplay is, hey, good job. You just noticed this person is not injured, dirty, right? They look way too clean.
And Paige, and I'm going to say 99% of the chat, had no doubts about anyone even once in the entire game. It was incredibly obvious who was and who wasn't and what was. And they have some moments where you get split up and there's a door and you're like, open the door, I need to get in. And there's two of those. And one, laughably obvious it's a monster. And then two, laughably obvious it's not the monster. Just trivial. And on top of that, okay, we eventually get some monsterism, right? We get some thingism. And we're a thing creature. It can transform into things. It can... What's that?
Cool design.
Well, So, John Carpenter's The Thing only shows you the thing a couple of times because they only had the budget to make a couple of dummies, right? This is a video game where you can make multiple models and squash and stretch them. What if the thing that can be anything turns itself into the same enemy model 40 times?
Nothing changes.
And it's head to toe the same monster.
Man, okay.
And
the way that the fucking dog exploded is completely different from the way the head splits open, and that's all.
Yeah,
really
so
interesting.
we have a situation where there's a big pile of goo on the wall, and the same monster that has been chasing you the whole game just comes out of the wall, and it's this, and I'm like, it just. I should be seeing less of these, and they should all be unique, and they should all be people that I've tried to trick me. And then from a mechanical perspective, the last hour and a half of the game is back to back stealth sequences against the same monster with every character in the roster. And it's bad stealth. And it's kind of offensive because you get this thing at the top of the screen that goes new objective, avoid the creature. That's the same as the last objective, which was avoid the creature. And the objective before that, which was avoid the creature. And the objective before that, which was avoid the creature. And these weren't fun those times either.
Are you just is the camera just jumping around as multiple people are escaping a maze or something?
Yes, actually, almost. Yes.
Okay, all right.
And on top of that, they have their twist, which most of the game builds up the fact that there's an alien on the ship as the twist, even though they show it to you within 10 minutes at the start of the game. Very strange. Then they have their secondary twist, which is okay. And then they have their third twist, which seems like it'll go somewhere, and then they just do absolutely nothing with it at all. And it's one of those twists where your brain just starts to go, why? But wait, no, that doesn't. How?
Okay,
and then the game just ends.
Not sequel hooking or something.
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
The big twist of the game doesn't make any sense, from a practical or narrative perspective. Like it does. Like I don't understand how it can exist in the game's own the game's own universe. So we ended the game just going like, what? Waste of time. More than anything, waste of a good premise.
Man, I'm so curious how these games are written, because
it feels like a first draft. Is what it feels like.
Okay, because I'm looking to see, like, how of the Dark Pictures, of all the Supermassive games. Okay, Until Dawn, Larry Fessden and Graham Resnick. Okay, a lot. The Quarry. A couple of the same names are popping back up here for Man of Medan, Little Hope, and so on. Looks like Directive 8020 is the same writer as no these are new people.
Yeah, well, it should stop.
Okay.
Also, so this game also does not feature any of the Dark Pictures anthology, like curator, like in between chapter, like narrative hook, where there's like a spooky guy in a study doing crypt keeper shit. Until I was in the last chapter of the game. And in the last chapter of the game, you can pick up one of the coins from Man of Medan. And your character goes, that's weird. That shouldn't be there. And he stands up, and the curator, which is a British guy in a suit with a bowler hat, is standing behind you, posing. And I went, what? And then a couple extra scenes throughout the end of the game had the curator just standing in the background in modern-day clothes and a bowler hat, posing. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck is this? And what it is that when you pick up that item, they unlock something called Zero Death Replay, which is every time your character could die, the curator shows up posing in the background. And if you get through the entire game with all characters alive, you get a scene with the curator who gives you like a vague sequel hook. But like, I swear to God, we're on a space station running from monsters, and there's like a dude posing in the background, and it looks like shit.
Okay, and it's meant to be like a narrative, like if you see him...
It's meant to be like, oh, right, the Dark Pictures.
If you see... Okay, sure. Oh, well, that answers my question. I was going to ask, like, is this actually part of the...
Yeah, no, it is.
Okay.
And also, because they're assholes, they imply that 8020 is a sequel to one of their prior games. And you see a little callback, and you're like, this fucking weak. This fucking...
Because
just a waste of time. Just a waste of time.
How long is this anthology? How many are there?
Oh, we've done them all. So in total, we're going up on 40, 50 hours, I guess, now.
Oh, wait, no, I just mean to say, like, is this the last one, or is everything they released?
This is the last of this season.
Okay. Wow.
Total waste of time.
That sucks, man, because after Until Dawn, it was definitely an exciting idea to think, oh, we're going to make more stories shorter so that they can come out more frequently. And if they're all hitting that quality, then great.
Oh, this is the first of season 2? Oh, good. Oh, yay. So that's Directive 8020. It's bad. They should go back to not having gameplay in these games. That's a bold statement of me to make.
Mm-hmm.
No gameplay better than bad gameplay.
1,000,000%. Especially when it clearly feels out of place, and nothing that they've done before this seems like they would know how to.
Yeah, that's bad. It's not good.
Damn. All right.
So that was a massive bummer. So Paige came over to do a 10-hour stream as a big old to help me out, and we were like, wow, this is shit. Wow, what a bummer. But then I moved on to Ace Combat 5. Hey, guess what? Flying planes, fucking cool.
Is there even a dog anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
You're playing as the ace of the War Dog Squadron.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right. Gotcha. Ace Combat just kicks ass. I don't think there's anything anything specific that I need to talk about.
How fucking sick was the music?
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, okay. Done.
Ace Combat 5, so I couldn't finish it. I couldn't get far enough into it to finish it. I'm going to be finishing it later this week. And Ace Combat always has too much sincerity. I think it's Matthew Mercer's first acting role, in which he sounds like a child. He sounds like a little boy. It's super weird. It's strange. And Reiko Nagase's sister from Ridge
Racer
Nagase,
model?
The Ridge Racer mascot. Her sister, Kei Nagase, is a character in the story.
What? The lore.
She flies planes.
Wow.
Very weird. Ace Combat 5, hey, guess what? A war happened. We're flying planes. It's very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
The multitude of mission types. It's super awesome. I stopped at the perfect moment in that game because it's doing something that I haven't encountered in an Ace Combat game. We have objectively won the war as of mission 18.
Oh.
Of 27.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm like, what?
Keeping the peace?
Okay. Peace reigns.
Yeah. Okay.
We're doing flybys of like a soccer stadium as the VP does like a speech to mark the end of the war.
Okay.
And I'm like, something's gonna pop off. Something.
Doing Blue Angel stunts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably the Belkins again. It's almost always the Belkins. They're such fucking assholes.
God damn this unsung war.
These motherfucking dirty ukes, and they call this fictional country. They refer to it's Yucatabania, but your wingmen refer to them as dirty ukes, and I'm like, ooh, that hits. I can feel it.
Koikos and Kipts.
Yeah. Oh, it hits. I'll be getting back to that.
Cool.
As of me, that was pretty much the end of my week. Did I do anything else? Oh, I played Subnautica 2 yesterday.
Oh.
Okay. I did a sponsored stream through Twitch. I played Subnautica 2. Didn't mess around with it too long, maybe about an hour or so. It's an early access, so it's not the polished, perfect spit shine game that Subnautica 1 is. I have lost my thalassophobia. Since I played Subnautica 1.
I was about to ask you, don't you have thalassophobia?
I did. So Subnautica 1 made me so anxious. That's why I started the Mind Goblins video series.
Yes.
Because I'm like, this is a weird, extreme reaction to swimming in the ocean in a game.
I mean,
this is absolutely nuts.
It is not an irrational fear. Large shadows in bodies of water underneath you should be unnerving.
Yeah, they should be. But yeah, I played a bit of Subnautica 2. It's cool. It's fun.
Oh,
that's it. It's not done. That's my current review of it. As of this week, I got a lot going on. Today, after the podcast, I'm going to be doing an FF14 stream at 7 p.m. Pacific with my new friends Hina Bobina, Mint Castella, Ecto, and Chromu Chromu. So me and 4 VTubers are going to be playing FF14. I've become Bricky, I guess.
You are the meat tuber.
I'm the meat man. Just me. Mm-hmm. But I got this meat dog, so it works. Right? So we're going to be hanging out and doing a bunch of old stuff and shooting the shit. Yeah, I was talking to Hina. We were chit-chatting and had like a Step Brothers moment where I was like, oh, you're my new best friend. Because we were talking about what classes they should add in the future to FF14. She's like, yeah, you know who I really want? I'm like, who? Chemist. And I'm like, yes! I've been saying chemist for literally 10 years. You have the best taste. Like, period. Like, you are 100% right.
What's the source on that job?
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
I want a healer that throws potions that smash on the party member's face.
Perfumer.
And it does a little bit of damage because you smashed a bottle on their face.
But then they get a heal. They get the thing. Yeah.
Like, I want the big heal to be to take a bottle and turn it upside down and just right in their fucking face. That's what I want.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Like in Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah.
So there's that. And then I'm going to do some more Kingdom Hearts and some more Ace Combat 5.
Alrighty.
So I got to a very tough boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 2, which I won't mention the name of it. I accidentally speedran it. You know when the audience is like building you up, like, oh man, this is going to be so awesome. I beat it in like 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, that was a cool thing. And then I looked through the comments and people said that this could not have been more ideal. You got the QuickTime event within 5 seconds, won it, and then you took enough damage to go into your critical limit. And then you picked the one move the boss can't handle to do 4 times in a row. And I naturally did the speedrun technique.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I had there was a boss in Pragmata that like it was kind of strange because like it kind of just showed up, sat there and died, and then it turns out that like I was doing a heat loop over and over on it so fast that it managed to not do any of its cool shit.
Sick.
And it's like, okay, some builds will delete your ability to see the cool thing. This is one of those games.
I am getting a little annoyed at it becoming a staple of my channel to skip the cool part of the fight.
Yeah.
This has become like a thing where 2-3 times a year, everybody get excited for the boss fight, and I just fully skip 1 or even 2 phases. Like the fight I'm talking about, I skipped both of the second and third phase.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't mind if games did like hard like limitation tricks to make sure that you could have these moments occur. Because like there's things like like damage threshold. Because the other thing that's really annoying is like something that happens is when dialogue is happening and you're walking and talking and then you interrupt one because the next one triggers because you walk too far.
Right? Yeah, because you walk too fast.
Super annoying. Hate that shit. Right? Just actively like make it stop. Like have a thing in place that makes you able to see that. Bosses it's a little bit trickier in the sense that like if it's a game where they can do one of many things and then you're supposed to hit a threshold, then sure. But doing what the thank you DLC in Expedition 33 does, where you're like, okay, time for a cutscene to occur. Now phase 2 begins. Is like, okay, great. Now you're gonna actually get to see it.
Yeah. So like FF16 had that, where you hit like a damage threshold, and the boss just went cutscene like immediately, like just and to try and stop this from happening. But if you hit it hard enough, you can still skip those
push past it,
because what you do is you just go from cutscene to cutscene.
Right. With the big like bonus popping.
But that's it for me this week. Make sure to check out tonight's show. It's going to be a big collaboration. Very excited. I've already moved my character over to the correct server. And you know what? You know what's great about making new friends that are also VTubers? They're showing me a bunch of technology that I didn't know how it worked. Like, have you heard about, what's this called? It's called Fugi. Fugi is what people use to put everybody's avatars on the side of the screen in your Discord call.
Oh.
So that your audience doesn't have to fucking guess who's talking if they don't know everybody's name.
Wait.
So like when I'm talking, my little Discord avatar will go burr, 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 burr,
yeah.
but it'll be on stream. It won't be like just hidden away in the Discord.
Okay. Sure.
Somebody in the chat says, "Oh, you don't really know about that? I'm old and I don't collab that much with people." Give me a break. Wooly, you're the person I collab the most with. Everybody knows what your fucking voice sounds like on my show.
Not much need for what you're describing. But sure, I'll take some fucking blowfish meat.
I am super worried that I am going to be the oldest man in the world in a couple of hours. Because I'm going to be in a group of, like, everybody in their 20s. And I have a kid. I'm married.
Okay.
I'm bald.
So I was going to say you might be, but my impression from the outside is that, like, okay, VTubers traditionally, like, especially like you're going, the original, like, ones from Japan, yeah, you're the oldest man in the world.
Yeah, that's correct.
But English VTubers, it feels like there's actually a gamut of older and younger folks. Like, there's a couple of English VTubers that I've seen where I'm like, oh, that's somebody that's our age or actually older. There's so there's a couple people going for it. So maybe
don't think that's
going
to be. I think I'm just going to be the old person. I think I'm just going to be very old, but I'll live for a while anyway.
No, that's what do you not want to be that? You want to be hip and young and in there with the like.
I just don't want to be dead. That's it.
I think yes.
So here's the thing. It's always this moment where you go, "Oh, remember this?" and the group goes, "No."
Sure,
right?
Sure. It's just the
because they go, "I was 5 years old," and I go, "Okay, well, 9/11 was a big deal."
Sure. I just you seem to me you have been comfortable deciding to be the old man even when you were not old.
Yeah, you're right. I had practice.
So
yeah, old soul. That's what you say.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a break.
I gotta take a break. I gotta take this dog out. Oh yeah, it's time, huh?
BRB.
This dog has a great sense of time. Oh my god. Stop hitting me.
Howdy do.
Hey.
Quick word from our sponsors.
We love our sponsors. I love our sponsors so much.
The podcast this week is sponsored by AG1. And that is your easy way to get your daily health drink with multivitamins, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, antioxidants, all that stuff you need in one scoop.
I probably need a good amount of those, more than I have right now.
Yeah, I have started taking care of eating better and eating well and getting healthier foods into me later in life, later than I should have. And I'm kind of trying to do it efficiently with time. And this is actually a super solid way to do that. And I really like that it's a single scoop in water and it tastes good. It tastes good. I'm somebody who didn't appreciate a good veggie until I got to taste some nice grilled ones later on and such. And I kind of, I was picky and choosy about what greens I'd want to eat, I think, as a kid. But in this case, you're getting all of the good ones in a scoop. And, you're getting 75 plus ingredients and the out here in particular, I know that I am vitamin deficient because I'm A, indoors a lot, and B, I'm in the cold Canadian climate where the sun is covered up more than it is in other places. So I have a lot of compensating to do. I have a lot to make up for, and the ability to do so with a pretty tasty drink in the morning is nice and easy and welcome. So definitely check them out. AG1 has over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Visit drinkag1.com/superbeast and you'll get a free AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 in your AG1 welcome kit when you first subscribe. That's a $72 value. That's drinkag1.com/superbeast. drinkag1.com/superbeast. Thanks, AG1.
Thanks, AG1.
The podcast this week is also sponsored by Factor. Factor Meals. Getting healthy food to you easily. You know, the thing about eating healthy, too, is that, like, a lot of the time you can focus on the parts where it's like, oh, this is going to be good for, you know, getting in shape or whatever your goals are and stuff. But you kind of...
It's my macronutrients.
Etc. But you don't really focus on the part where when you eat, like, healthier food, you don't feel like shit as often.
Yeah, because I remember having these moments where, like, oh, I feel terrible. I don't understand. Well, do I get enough sleep? No. Do I eat well? No. Do I exercise? No. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
It is. What can be the cause? Literally, you know, it's like, oh shit, your body isn't digesting the worst things for you. Well, then you can feel kind of normal for a second, you know? So yeah, get yourself some food that'll actually make you feel better as well. Not just psychologically, but literally, like, you wake up not hating yourself because you're like, oh shit, my body's not in pain because you're not eating like crap. You're eating good stuff, healthy stuff. So yeah, Factor Meals has ability to, you can build around your goals. So if you're looking for weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, if you're looking for GLP-1 support, strength and workout recovery, whatever the case you need, you've got lots of options with Factor. They've got the Muscle Pro collection, for example, and they're very selective. You know, they've got 175 plus ingredients banned that are no good and that they don't use. No artificial colors or sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup, no refined seed oils, just nutrient dense foods. So fresh, never frozen. And you got a nice selection as well. You got over 100 rotating weekly meals, including globally inspired flavors like Mediterranean and Asian. Always something new to look forward to. And yeah, I love the ability to finish off a podcast like this, go downstairs, heat something up, and have it ready to go and know that it's fresh and tastes good and is going to not punish me later. I had the worst regret I've ever had eating American gas station food one time for dinner. I just sat on the hotel bed. For dinner? It was the only choice we had. There was nothing around.
Eat nothing, man.
Yeah. I learned now that nothing would have been a better choice. It would have been a better choice.
Oh,
starvation
man,
actively, you know,
rough. So
much regret. Don't do that. Make sure that you have the ability to get some good, tasty, healthy food. Get Factor. Head to factormeals.com/castle50off and use the code castle50off to get 50% off plus free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until that is the 27th of September 2026. See website for more details. One more time, that's factormeals.com/castle50off with the code castle50off. Thanks, Factor.
Thanks, Factor.
You know the deal. This podcast sponsored by Shopify. You, the person who's thinking about getting into the business online, you're trying to ship things, you're trying to sell things, you're trying to get your shop up off the ground and started, or you've established it, people already know what you're about, and you've already been expanding and growing, but you cannot keep up with the orders and the amount that's coming in and the different traction that you're pulling online. Shopify might be the perfect thing for you and your business. It is it's the number one, it's the best checkout on the market. You've got the ability to use Shopify to help grow your business, or whether it's the first or millionth sale, wherever you're at. It's a commerce platform worth checking out. They got your design studio set up so that you can get tons of ready-to-use templates to help you build a beautiful online store that matches your style. You've got award-winning tech support that is there for all your needs. You can basically get the equivalent of a marketing team behind you if you use Shopify to get your social media campaigns going. And you can keep track of things like, where people are seeing your products. You can keep track of international shipping or things like returns. Stuff like that gets really complicated as you grow. But Shopify is the convenient way to help take care of all of that with the commerce platform that you see online often. That purple Shop Pay button shows up in millions of stores online as well. That's also Shopify, and it's super easy to use. Check it out. You can turn those what ifs into cash with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/superbeast. That's shopify.com/superbeast. shopify.com/superbeast. Thank you, Shopify.
Thank you, Shopify.
And last but not least, this week the podcast is sponsored by Invincible Versus.
Hey, Invincible Versus, how's it going?
That is the brutal tournament quality superhero 3v3 tag fighter that is available now. You can get it on PlayStation 5 or on Windows or Xbox. So be sure to go check it out. I've said it already, but that game is coming along. I'm seeing there's people are getting really good with my favorite character is Cecil. I think it's super sick that he's in the game, and Cecil is apparently keeping up with the god level.
Dude, that's awesome.
Viltrumites and such. He's using tech that is the cost of a small island nation's GDP to keep up, but he's teleporting and shooting guns and calling down the lasers, and he's one of the best characters, and I love that shit's really cool. And of course, you've got the 3v3 style that is fast and heavy tag based from the folks that made Killer Instinct. Love that fighting game. So
people that really know what they're doing.
Yeah. I was describing how on my stream, Maximilian came over and told me, he's like, hey, pick Alan the Alien, go into training mode, jump and press boost and dash forward. And I was like, oh my god, you can super dash in any direction while in the air. So the movement's really good and fun and flowy. It's got some great stuff. And if you're a fan of the series as well, it's got a ton of the characters from all the seasons, and original new character Elemental as well. She's like bending the elements. It's pretty cool. So be sure to go check that out. Invincible Versus, out now on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Thank you, Invincible Versus.
Thanks, Invincible Versus.
All right. What's going on in the news?
Probably something.
At least one or two things. Sure. This is something I actually wanted to mention last week. We didn't get around to it in time, but kind of just funny. I saw Jesse Cox was talking about this over on Geekenders, but there was a store in Japan, Big Camera, that sells Pokemon cards.
Sure. And
as you might have heard, scalping has become quite rampant. It is a problem. So, to deal with it, Big Camera has decided to fight the scalping. You must agree to 3 conditions when you buy Pokemon cards. 1.
Are they riddles?
Yes. 1. You must complete a quiz of 15 questions based on the Pokemon universe. Only those who answer the quiz questions correctly will be able to purchase the item. Second, also, if you take a photo of the quiz, you're refused service. Second, you must open the pack of cards in front of them.
Oh my god, this is just safe supply for Pokemon cards. This is just safe supply for Pokemon cards.
You must prove that you know what Pokemon is. Then you must open the pack in front of us. And third, you must agree to let them they cut along the box's perforations to open it so that you cannot resell the box as if it were new and unsealed.
Smart. Yeah, scalping has always been a problem, but scalping has never been the problem it is now. I feel like I feel like if you charted like the economy in real dollars and inflation alongside things that are being scalped, the lines would basically touch as they went up.
Because I would say that there's always been, again, about the whatever, like rise and grind. You got the hustle bros that have been looking for that leg up. But I would say that the knowledge of taking all your currency and making it as liquid as possible and moving it into things that have appreciating value has become widespread and common and known.
Yeah, I know a guy who put all his money into Pokemon cards because it was like a shelf-stable asset.
There you go, right? And it's what folks have been doing with paintings for years, but now it's attracting all the worst attention because instead of paintings with a bunch of assholes in a gallery, you've got kids getting like shoulder blocked out of line while a fucking dude hits up the vending machine and just buys everything there.
So what you're supposed to do traditionally is buy the cards off the kids and then resell them at a markup. But in today's internet connected world, you can now track shipments and correlate all this nonsense to cut the kids out of the deal. Like, back in the day, if you were going to elementary school and some of the high school kids ran by and like, I will pay you $20 for any Pokemon cards you have on you right now, you'd be like, fuck it. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to use the $20 to go buy more Pokemon cards. Right?
I'll pay you for that Charizard sticking out of the spokes of your bike.
Yeah.
It's in horrible condition. No, of course. But that also is just a through line because that's what baseball cards were like as well. All the way through. But yeah, you basically get to cut the middleman out level that we're at now.
Rarity as value. No intrinsic value. All extrinsic market value.
And I will say that, from what I can tell with Pokemon and like Magic the Gathering and a lot of these card games, there's a lot of people that are fans of the thing that also are part of the market. And
absolutely,
there's an interest in that worth growing as they're looking at it as like, oh, I like the game, but also I want a high value thing because sure, that pays off. But anyway, all of this is like the same assholes that are buying up every video card and every other fucking scalping situation, PS5s, etc. Back in the
like
day,
Nvidia and the Pokemon card company, whoever the fuck they are, and all the console companies are seeing, oh, people are buying up cards as fast as we can print them. This is crazy. Why would we ever create a system in which people who actually just want the cards can get them? Because you are cutting the nose off of your future. So one of the things that, I don't know if it's a news article this week or whatever, but every single fucking video game console has increased in price since launch.
Yeah.
Not decreased, increased. And some by like 150.
At Sony, there's a class action lawsuit against Sony for the price hikes. Yeah.
So like Sony was like $150, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, we gotta save costs on the PlayStation. Well, what are you gonna do when nobody has a PlayStation and then doesn't want to buy the next PlayStation because they've never had a PlayStation because the PlayStation's too expensive? Like, you want to talk, like, you want big picture? When you and me were kids, it was the, like, default that you had a brother or a sister, right? You had 2 kids, 3 kids, sometimes 4 kids, right? So when mom and dad were like, we'll buy a $200 Nintendo, what was that? That was actually, like, I'll take my brother and I, for example.
$100 a
$250 PlayStation. That was actually a $125 PlayStation for each child, right? Now, a lot of kids are only kids because birth rate down and blah, 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 right? Okay. How much is? Oh, it's $750 fucking dollars for a PlayStation 5.
And
that's fucking crazy.
And if you don't get it, and you got to go get it off the back of the truck, then crank that up 150%.
And it has no games. No.
Yeah. Well, that's another story.
That's a different story from this week. That's a different story.
You can't live in a world where like console exclusivity becomes less of a thing because there's PC ports, and then also yell it has no games, because by yelling it has no games you're demanding that exclusives come back.
Fun. It's fun to say, though. I think it's really fun to say.
You are creating a hostile world where exclusives come back if you fucking keep saying that.
No, but for real, like Sony and Nintendo, and to a lesser degree Microsoft, are like, we want lifelong consumers of our products. And it's like, well, you can't get lifelong consumers if you don't allow them to get the foot in the door as children.
Right.
Like, you know how I bought a fucking a GameCube? I bought it with lawnmower money.
Right.
You know how long it would take somebody to buy a fucking PlayStation 5 with lawnmower money? It would take like the entire fucking summer. And like more.
That world doesn't exist anymore. It's just...
Yes, but that's my point. The world, you can't keep pricing these things like that world is still here. It's not. The PlayStation 6 should just be a cheaper PlayStation 5. It should be the same box, just cheaper.
But if it can't wow everybody by looking in like the most realistic whatever blah 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 blah,
it doesn't matter how much it wows people if people can't afford to buy it.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
It's the same shit every week.
Me and Paige will be like driving somewhere and listen to the radio, and it's like, oh, Gen Z doesn't go on vacations. Why is that? Do people just want to stay home? They don't have any money.
Yeah,
they don't have any money.
It turns out Nintendo going humble on the tech for years has the right idea, but they also were not. But they're not humble on the price. They've never been humble on the price.
I bought 2 Nintendo Switch 2s on the day of launch, and some people were like, "That's stupid. Why do you need that?" And I'm like, "Because I'm gonna have to replace one day, and it will be cheaper now than it will be later." And I didn't think I was gonna be proven so correct so fast.
Like Nintendo does half the equation, but then they don't pass the savings onto the buyer. Basically, they save money on the production and then still put out the price and lock it in and never drop it, so that they can get the best of both worlds there. Anyway, I think this is fucking sick. I love the idea of assholes being in line trying to think about shit, what does a rare candy do? Fuck. Or getting one of the 15 questions wrong, and then also having to open the pack in front of everybody to prove that you
I think
give
it's
a
great.
fuck.
I think it's fantastic.
It would also be kind of hilarious and wild if you were a massive Pokemon fan, but you fucked up one of the most basic questions ever on the thing.
It's like winning the lottery in Canada.
Oh, the skill testing question.
Yeah. Did you fuck up bed mass or ped mass, depending where you're at?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. You're out $2 million, dumb bum. Fuck.
That being said, there's also potential here for a great bit where the questions are insanely hard.
Yeah. What's the good IV for Vaporeon? Man, I don't fucking know. Well, goodbye.
How many pixels is Missing No made up of?
40?
Yeah.
No, bad guy, you have to stop playing so much Pokemon. You just answered the question. He said it's defense. Get out. If you answer that one correctly, they tell you to go home and stop playing Pokemon. You've done too much.
For your own good, you're not allowed to buy this anymore.
Yeah, no, you should stop.
Trick question. You answered the 15 questions, you're not allowed to buy it.
You're not allowed. You're in too deep. You need to get out of here.
You needed to get 10 right in order for this to be allowed, actually. You answered too many questions.
If you get all 15, some nice men are going to come help you.
Anyway, great policy. Good bit. Something else that's changing for the first time, there's a widget that's updating on PS5 that's going to start showing player counts for certain games.
Fucking sick. This is awesome.
So, I mean, I can just imagine the fucking Steam Spy, the FGC
Those
numbers
guys
posters
are like coming in their pants, dude.
Like it's that South Park shot. Just just the fucking nut everywhere. I can't believe.
Yeah,
Randy rather.
Yeah.
Like the level of like you have no, because consoles have always been the like, oh well, the console numbers are high.
Well,
it's always been the OS that you can use. It's always been the option
way back
select,
in the day when consoles and physical sales were like the number one thing, NPD sales results would come out, and you'd be like, okay, this is like a ballpark figure of whatever, but at the bottom was in a little asterisk that always said the same thing, which was not including Walmart, which is the biggest retailer in the United States.
Sure is.
So you'd be like, well, I don't actually know what these things are, and that's what we have on Steam with Steam Spy and all that, because yeah, you get the Steam numbers, but consoles, particularly the PlayStation, do bigger numbers overall in a huge number of games. So missing that is like missing half or more of the pie. But now we have Steam and PlayStation numbers. You're going to know. You are going to know if a game is doing well or not.
Huge caveat, though. Huge caveat. Because Twitch stream numbers is also something people use as a metric, right?
Like you look at the 2XKO stream numbers and you're like, oh, I hope the game lives out the year.
Well, the other one is people use signups at tournaments to see where things are at, how many people are entering the bracket. But the huge caveat is it's not every single game and it's not every single count.
No, it's
because
only the big.
Obviously, they know that they don't want to discourage anybody from playing something that is not popular. So it's going to show you either the top 10 and, you know, how many people in the top 10 in your region, or it's going to show you the trending ones where a smaller game that recently got an update of some kind, which led to like a lot of people playing it again, it'll show you the tick up in percentage for people returning to an older game.
So you can just expect the Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty and a couple free games to be up there.
Everything
the top
multiplayer.
5,
everything multiplayer is just going to dominate that whole time.
But so now we're back to the old metric of, hey, brand new game, supposed to be hot. They say it sold a lot. Why didn't it break into the top 10 for even a day? Right? So Marathon is a lot better than I thought it would be, and the people who play Marathon are having a really great time. Marathon's numbers are bad. They're not good. Sony put out some statement a little while ago where they like downgraded it was such fucking financial nonsense. They downgraded the value of the acquisition of Bungie in confidence by like $350 million. But like the long and short of it is the Marathon is not performing the way they wanted it to.
I keep forgetting, is Marathon paid and Arc is free?
Marathon and Arc are paid.
Both are paid. Okay.
Yes. I think Marathon numbers dipped below Destiny 2 numbers at some point over the past couple of weeks, which is really bad. Because they gave up on Destiny 2. Like, that's in maintenance mode.
Woof. Okay.
Unfortunately, when you make a violent, cutthroat game for sickos, it tends to, concentrate on the dankest sickos.
Yeah. And I know, and I see folks going like, I want the real numbers. It's like, you're never going to get the real numbers because
you can get the real number for Grand Theft Auto, but the company giving up the real numbers is giving up their like critical market information, like hiding what is not successful and inflating what is a big part of this thing. But I tell you, like sometimes you get that experience on Twitch and you're like, I'm the world's #1 streamer at this game because it's never been fucking streamed on this platform.
You are once again speaking to the Gorater God.
Right. That's right.
I am the Gorater God.
He is the Gorater God.
There is no other.
It's just him.
Lest we forget.
I kind of forgot for a second, but as soon as you started to do this, I was like, oh, he's going to talk about fucking Gorater.
Gorater. I think I get the move. It's to kind of hype people up for, stuff that's trending and whatever the case is. But You are really, all I can think is just you are empowering those fucking number gooners.
And you know what, man? You know what they can do? They can do something great where they're like, hey, Ghost of Kansai, or whatever the fuck, you know, the next one that they'll probably do. Look, these numbers are so crazy. They're so much bigger than Yotei and Tsushima's. And it's like, well, a lot of people like me didn't buy Yotei because they were waiting for a PC release. And now that there isn't going to be a PC release, I'm going to still not buy Yotei.
So, PlayStation CEO says single-player Sony games will no longer be coming to PC going forward.
I have to say, this was obviously going to happen because of the way they put it out. When they put out they publicly put out like their business strategy for going to the PC market, and you and me heard it on the podcast, and immediately were like, "Wow, that is obviously not going to work at all." Their idea
is as speculative. Go ahead, sorry.
Their idea was that 6 months to a year or to 18 months after God of War came out, they would put the game out for full price on PC. And then you would play God of War on PC and you go, wow, I'm crazy about God of War. And then Ragnarok would come out on PlayStation and you go, well, I gotta hop on that right the fuck now because I'm crazy about God of War. I'm gonna go buy a PlayStation 5. That is no one. If we lived in 1998... and PlayStations cost $200 fucking dollars, yeah, you know what? Maybe. I don't know. But we don't.
You know, I just watched the latest Super Best Friends video on YouTube, and I'm so crazy about them. I gotta go get the latest one on Vessel. I gotta get in there early.
That is a deep pull, my friend. Also, I'm pretty sure those Vessel videos are gone.
Some of them
I'm pretty sure that those no longer exist.
Some of them are gone forever. I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude, it's like... you know how much competition I have? Like, I have a PlayStation over here. So I was waiting for Ghosts of Yotei to come out, for example, and I'm like, man, I really love Tsushima. I would love to play Yotei, but I keep my one PlayStation over here at the office.
Yeah, I think that the consensus we kind of secretly came to was, wow, that's a terrible idea. Nobody tell them. Yeah. Just let them
Nobody tell them.
Yeah. Just no, totally. Yeah, we're gonna be so hyped to go get that latest sequel on console after we pick up the PC version. Totally, for sure, man.
And then they go, hey, yeah, I don't get it. The PC numbers for these games that we release at full price a year and a half later aren't doing what we think they should be doing. I don't get it. I get it. You're releasing them for full price a year and a half later. That's it.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's pretty clear they're like, okay, we're not going to be doing this shit anymore. But if they ramped up and kept doing this, they'd run into the same problem that Xbox basically runs into, right? Yeah. Where everyone looking at it goes, well, why do I need that particular box? And then Microsoft themselves says, well, you don't, because see this right here? That's an Xbox.
I sees it. It like
covers my water, but
like congratulations, you spent a lot of time and a lot of money making people expect games on a console that you didn't have a chance to, you didn't feel like supporting for the long term. And now there's a bunch of Ghost of Tsushima and God of War fans that are just like, darn. Like, that's the level of emotion here.
Darn. Ultimately, it's a bummer because I think it's cool to have more shit ported elsewhere, but their reasoning was always the dumbest shit.
It was always insane. If they wanted to do it, they should have done it day and date, and then they would have made a bunch of money. But now that they're not going to do it, I'm just not going to buy some of those games because I have.
Yeah, like if you don't. Like, remember the word attachment rates, right?
I do.
If you don't give a fuck about that and just want that to be like nothing, then you go, yeah, we'll sell software and make money like that, and it'll be fine, right? But you're actively trying to push people to go get the hardware. I imagine...
You know what? If Yote goes on a Steam sale-like discount on the PlayStation 5 at some point during a holiday, and by that I mean 50% off or more, yeah, maybe I'll pick it up.
So because
that's what I did for Tsushima. I didn't buy it on release there either.
So the banner of this article is a picture of Wolverine, right? And I'm wondering how that's going to affect things, you know? Especially if it's like, this is not a sequel to something coming out like Horizon or
it's a sequel to Spider-Man 2.
Okay, but it's a brand, but it's a new IP starting out, you know. Anyway, so there goes that.
You know what's really funny? Because they said it's only the single player games, because the multiplayer games actually do benefit massively for being on multiple platforms day and day.
If they're crossplay.
Because it keeps their populations up, and that keeps them viable as sailed products for longer.
Yeah. No, so that's it's specifically single player. That's as specified. Yeah.
Now remember, the new Horizon game is coming out on PC and phones only.
Correct. Anyway, beyond that, we talked about the hikes, etc. I mean, Marvel related somewhat, but there was an interview where they were talking about Tokon, and it was originally actually planned to be a 1v1 fighter. And
they saw all the success 2XKO is having, and they're like, yeah.
The director said originally they planned for it to be a 1v1, and they're kind of like, yeah, this is pretty standard, like it'd be a normal fine fighting game, but they felt that it didn't encapsulate what the word Marvelness should mean.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
And then when they said we could do 2v2 or 3v3, they're like, yeah, but that's already been done. That's kind of standard. What if we tried some crazy shit? So specifically the word Marvelness,
I like that.
Inspired that.
I like that a lot.
Pretty random but cool. I will point out when I see it, when Ingrid drops on May 28th in Street Fighter 6, they're also up.
Then Street Fighter is once again back to the basement.
They're adding 2 modes, one called Random Avatar Match and Avatar Arcade. And these are both things that should have been there from the jump, but it is...
That was kind of my understanding when I saw the trailer for it. I was like, it's actually really weird that it took like multiple years to get to this.
Yeah, because people played the Avatar Battle stuff, and they still do, and it's a goofy side fun mode that's there for freaks. But you still have to go grind out World Tour to get your character maxed out, and then to get all the moves and to get all that shit, and to furthermore to get the costumes for your secondary characters, all this stuff. People don't want to do the grinding out. So this is just, hey, also when you go down to the random battle hub, you have to fight whatever, toxic asshole is sitting there queuing up. This is not ranked, but this is an online random match that you queue up with other people, and everyone's at the same level. They all have maxed out skills, maxed out stats. You can go build a character out of the same ingredients, and everyone can just start playing and fight against other people randomly in multiplayer. And then second, there's Avatar Arcade mode, where you can go fight against some of the story NPCs and other World Tour characters just in a straight arcade run, and you can fight against the real main cast as many times as you want to get.
Yeah, and you can unlock their costumes.
To unlock their costumes and their points and stuff for your.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So
very cool.
It's just a fun secondary way to go get all that done instead of grinding through World Tour and playing.
Yeah, it's a way to distract you from the lack of value with the new character coming out,
or from the lack of costumes coming to the main fighting ground.
It's like new costumes.
It's crazy. It's crazy how long it takes, and ever since the logic of that has been explained, I understand, but it still is just like a poor decision.
I don't care.
Yeah,
at a certain point, I'm like, I don't care.
18
yeah,
B team.
We only have you should have allocated your resources differently.
Yeah, that's it.
I will not listen to the reasonable explanation of why it takes so long for these costumes when I can see you guys selling like an $80 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like Avatar collab on the fucking storefront.
They you got a separate studio entirely just putting stuff out there with a great output, but they're not working on the part of the game that people want updates coming to. So, yeah. Okay. I mean, there's an article, Capcom execs excited about GenAI, meanwhile creatives are...
What a uniquely poor time to announce this, as the new limits on AI mean in most cases using your tokens is more expensive than paying an employee.
Oh, has that happened?
We talked. I briefly mentioned it a few weeks to you that Claude did something to their tokens because they were running out of money, and so people were like, "I blew through every token I have on 9:30 on a Monday morning. What am I supposed to do?" And the answer is, you're supposed to spend thousands of dollars on your tokens so you can pay more for this piece of shit than an employee that would actually know what they're doing. So, Capcom, very behind the times. The time to have announced this to get people excited and shareholders would have been like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
not now during the pop of the bubble.
Well, I saw this article pop up, and looking at it, it feels like essentially after the folks that made the games, because we know that the artists and the people working on the teams are actively like, fuck this shit. After that Resident Evil 9 yassification fiasco, it feels almost like, okay, you click on this to hear that in the meanwhile, up in the C-suite at the investor meeting and the earnings reports, they're like, no, guys, don't worry, it's still all about it. We're not losing sight, right? Never mind what the artists and creatives actually have to say.
It's
so, man.
So, like, for example, we didn't even cover it, but Xbox has said that they're killing Copilot for Xbox, and that they have also killed their AI and gaming initiative, which is nuts because the lady running Xbox now is an AI person that came from the AI division, and was like, "We're gonna do it," and like we're like 2 months later, and they're like, "No, fuck it, kill it." Wild that Capcom was like, you know what we should do? We should put shit in our mouth right now.
And you're seeing, well, look, it's like, again, the execs and all the folks on this stuff is they're getting emboldened by things because, like, one of the things that popped up was a study the other day of like how many gamers actually care about AI in their games or don't or whatever. And there's a whole lot of people that don't care actively or are undecided.
Of course.
Right? There's a lot of people that don't know, don't give a fuck, and are neutral on it. And it's like as you add time to this axis now, as we add the z-axis of time and people start losing their jobs more, do you suppose that they might start caring a little bit more?
Or, I don't know, over time, you are more likely to have to interact with a part of your computer or your phone that uses the AI in a way that you're just constantly frustrated by. That's like, so for example, like, you know, Copilot keeps wanting to reinstall itself on every computer that Windows uses, even though Windows themselves actually remarked that less than 3% of people click that button on purpose.
Oh yeah, you accidentally clicking on the little fucking star thing. Yeah, in the icon has now been established. The little star thing in multiple.
All the stats that you see about to keep people care about AI or people use AI, they're all legitimately like untrustworthy because Google says we have 8 billion AI searches a day because we mandate it with every Google search. Or they'll go, "Hey gamers, do you like AI in your video games?" Full stop. No distinction between generative AI
or the CPU difficulty.
Characters doing things.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sure. Right. No, yeah. It's again, the equivalent of going to fucking Fextra Life and having one of their streams load up. And it's like, hey, you love the Twitch stream Fextra Life. Did you know how much you watched that?
I remember streaming Dark Souls like some mornings. like way back, and I had like a pretty good amount of people in there, and I'm like, I think I might be the top Dark Souls 3 streamer right now, like at this time of the day. And then I'd like look at the category, and it'd be like Fextra Life with like 44,000 fucking people, and I'm like, how?
By
fucking how?
By lying.
And then I found out, it's playing on every single fucking page on the entire wiki network.
You open up a wiki and it starts running that shit, and there's nothing you can do. By just lying is how, Real numbers, guys. Real numbers. Anyway, I feel like I'm almost actively avoiding some of the. Anyway, it's just
Fextra Life has actually gotten super. Like, it used to be something that I would use occasionally, and then like over time, it just became like the most unusable piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, opening that up or a fandom site on your phone, you want to feel that shit just start fucking. You want to feel your phone turn into a fireball in like seconds.
Yeah.
Just. Anyway, let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Please send in only good letters. If you're writing a letter and you're like, this is a bad letter, fuck it, I'm going to send it anyway. Don't. Decide to make it good instead.
Okay. I was about to. Something just popped up, and you know what? I got baited.
Yeah. All right. Let's get.
I don't know what's going on here. Where's this going?
What do you got?
I got baited by hello mighty number 9 backers 1 and 2.
Oh, I gotta check my email. I backed that crap.
You've both gone on to state how there are a number of questions that shouldn't be answered. So how about the opposite? Have you ever experienced a moment in fiction where you got an answer to a question you wanted and you liked it? Also, I'll take "oh thank God" type answers if my examples end up being the easy choices.
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. Mm-hmm. There was a thread recently on the subreddit for Final Fantasy XIV in which they ask, is FF14 the best use of retcons ever? And the general consensus was no, but it's up there. There is a really obvious thing that you can watch happen in A Realm Reborn and Heavensward where they shoot some shots for like way, way, way later with no plan as to how to get there.
Okay.
And then when it comes time to cash in on that, they come up with really good answers to those questions that they originally never had any plans for.
Interesting. Okay.
Really, really, really good answers.
Okay.
To the point of like retroactively making like certain pieces of music much more poignant because you're like, oh my God, that song was about this the whole time? No, it wasn't. They engineered these events.
You made it work
to fit the lyrics of that song.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I respect it. That's one way to create. Build yourself into a hole, dig yourself into a hole, and then find a way out. No, I mean they're mentioned here, but it's like the basement. The basement in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, the Attack on Titan basement is fucking A+.
Phenomenal. And yeah, also credit there too to the main antagonist in Sinners. Good motivation.
You know what? This is like kind of barely tangentially related, but I was talking to Paige about good twists in movies, and we were chit-chatting, and I'm like, I think probably my best movie experience twist in my entire life was seeing The Matrix. And she did not see The Matrix in theaters when it came out. She saw it on video later. Mm-hmm. And I got to experience a version of this conversation I have not had yet before, but I guess that's how it is now, where she looked at me and goes, what's the twist in The Matrix? And I go...
It's so ubiquitous.
And I'm like, oh,
it's
wow,
so ubiquitous that it was never... It couldn't be a twist. It was the
because
pitch.
It only lasted for the week of its release in theaters.
The one box office weekend. That one weekend was
because
the only time.
Because I saw the trailer for The Matrix at another movie.
It cannot be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. And it was just kung fu stuff and Lawrence Fishburne talking about like weird nonsense. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Okay,
I gotta go see this movie. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, so if you're a youngin and you're listening to this and you happen to not know, when The Matrix first came out as a movie, it did not tell you what it was about, and you did not know about the computer world subplot at all.
The only thing you saw was Lawrence Fishburne and his little speech to Neo, to Keanu Reeves, and he says no one can be told what The Matrix is, and it would cut between like Trinity doing kung fu magic shit.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was the whole fucking
It was
trailer.
A kung fu action movie with people in leather, and that's all you knew. And then you heard that line, and that was it. And you're like, oh, well, I like that stuff.
And the whole campaign was, I'm going to go see this because it looks cool, and also I would like to know what The Matrix is.
So anyone who was in the theater watching that movie for the first time that weekend saw the whole thing about the world and waking up in the real world and all that. No idea, raw, and that is a thing that fucking changed movies. It was insane.
That lasted for that weekend.
Mm-hmm. You can imagine, right? It's a
as soon as you got to school on Monday, your shot of seeing that unspoiled was over.
I almost imagine. So you know what? That's actually like Terminator 2, right? Because in because Terminator
2 is weird because it assumes you didn't even see the trailer for the movie.
Well, but I thought that it was. I thought T2 was marketed as like, the Terminator is back, and not that he's the protector this time.
No, the trailers did in fact show that Arnold was going to protect the kid.
Oh.
So it's actually really strange because the movie pretends you didn't see the trailer because it builds it up as suspense, as like, oh my God, there's two. What do you... Oh, no.
Okay. Well, yeah, then I guess that was spoiled entirely going in. And
it very weird. You could have just not done that. You could have just been like, there are two Terminators now. How are they going to survive?
And at the very least, the get down moment, and you're like, oh shit, you're right. But yeah. Okay. Let's see over here. All right. Dear Wooly and Pat, longtime listener, first time sending mail. Recently, I've been playing Marvel Rivals, and there's a new character called Devil Dinosaur. He is, as you can imagine, a big red dinosaur.
I played Devil Dinosaur literally last night. He's fun.
Yeah, I got to play him in match, and as people always lock into new characters for the first couple of weeks, when I was playing him in an actual match, I was overwhelmed by a primal feeling of, I'm a fucking dinosaur. It's hard to explain it any other way. It just feels like you're an actual dinosaur. It feels like if they fulfilled a character fantasy of playing as a big-ass dino perfectly, and the only other time in recent memory that I've encountered this, it was when I played Insomniac Spider-Man games for the first time, just swinging around through the city. So, has there been any key moments like this in games where you feel enraptured enough to feel a perfect character fantasy being fulfilled?
Absolutely. Every game featuring a robot, the robot either has to move too fast or too slow.
Sure.
That robot needs to move like an orbital frame from Zone of the Enders, or it needs to boost around like a freak, like Armored Core, or
clunk.
It has to be slow as shit, like Mech Warrior or Armored Core.
Yes, you got to clunk the fuck around.
Whichever Armored Core we're talking about.
Yeah, Steel Battalion. There you go. That is absolute. That is a perfect.
If you watch any Ace Combat stream I ever do, when I am pulling up, you will watch me literally be like doing this and leaning back in my fucking chair to pull up harder. And it's the only games that do that. Every Ace Combat I have played, I am physically moving around my whole body to get harder turns, which isn't real.
So similar to the Devil Dinosaur thing, I've talked before on this podcast about, like, recently I talked about how Nago Ryuki feels perfect for the character's plot and story and his system of containing your blood rage and not letting it overtake you. All the things you do to keep yourself right on the limit but not going over it, and it's showing restraint and trying to be, zen in your style of fighting is a very cool thing. Also, Asuka is mentioned earlier in the show about being so distracted by the card game you're playing that the fight is inconsequential and you're just annoyed by it. But I think that Killer Instinct actually was one of the fighting games that did a really good job of making characters feel like their ideas and identity are worked into the way they play. Aganos, when you're getting the bricks and chunking up, is amazing.
I'm a wall.
Yeah. And
I don't feel like I'm playing a character. I feel like I'm playing a wall.
And like your whole thing with Aganos is every time you land a combo with him, you can put another chunk of armor into your chest, and you move even slower, and you hit harder, and you can't do anything, but you're tougher, so it's fine. The trade-off of speed for armor is great, you know? And one of the sickest ones, too, is Fulgor. You're a robot. Your robot doesn't have a normal meter. He has an engine that spins. And
I remember playing Fulgor.
The more you get in there, the more you go on offense, the more you dash in, attack, do stuff, your engine starts spinning faster and faster and faster until the engine is fucking full speed, and then you can do a bunch of new moves, get a bunch of crazy shit going with your character, do cancels, etc. The other way to rev up your engine is by using your comeback factor, your instinct meter, and that just revs your engine up right away. But if your engine is already revved up naturally, and then you pop instinct to overclock it, the engine fucking overheats and spits out the giant hype beam because it can't handle how much output you're putting into it, you know? So yeah, it just like, I'm like, that makes sense with the way you play him plus what this does. You put the two together and you get a super hype finisher as a result. It's great.
That's a pretty good question.
There you go. Dear whoever, Funny Clown in AK says, I remember you were talking about Forbidden Solitaire, and the conversation brought to mind something that my friends called the funny clown effect. The idea of a scare evil clown that kills people was originally supposed to be a subversion of a normal clown. But now,
that's right,
the evil murder clown is so ubiquitous and invoked so regularly without fail that if you put a clown in your story, then the really surprising thing would be if he was just funny and friendly like a normal clown.
I'm actually a big fan of things that are so suspicious that when they're played straight, you're like actually baffled.
Right. The unexpected straight punch. So my question is, does anything push your buttons based on this effect? A popular subversion that has so constantly been overdone that it's now boring, but the original take is the subversion.
I think that wildly suspicious guy that doesn't betray you is my favorite.
Yeah. I have
like what you didn't.
There was a Versus Wolves bit with a mascara snake kun who would look so evil and slithers but never actually betrays you. I similarly would say if you had a super cool old man mentor in the tutorial and he survives.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Crazy. I can't believe it.
He survived the tutorial? Are you insane? Oh my god. Yeah. That would blow my mind. It'd knock my socks off. All right. And last one here. Dear Nobody Pat and Heartless Wooly.
What's up?
Koopa Maniac asks, I recently finished RE9 and I couldn't stop comparing Raccoon City to the return to Shadow Moses in Metal Gear Solid 4.
That is by far the most obvious comparison possible.
I thought Raccoon City was intermittently interesting, but dull overall, though, whereas I think Shadow Moses has more going for it, personally. Have other games done nostalgic chapters like this, and have they been done better?
Not all that much. In terms of RE9, I will say that Raccoon City, they actually really pull back on the nostalgia. Most of the Raccoon City section in RE9, it does not take place in areas that you'd be familiar with. It takes place in parts of the city that you never explored. The difference for me between MGS4 and RE9 is that MGS4 plays a lot in the same spaces. Mm-hmm. Like a lot. Like it's almost entirely in spaces you know, and they do like a couple interesting things. The main thing is that playing through MGS4 Act 4 is kind of shit because you're doing it against the robots, the weird little hand robots. Mm-hmm. Like nearly exclusively, and it's kind of miserable. Whereas in RE9, it's actually like just a natural evolution of that game's Leon gameplay, and it plays pretty well.
But the payoff for Shadow Moses is great.
Yeah, people are saying
I have three that come to mind. Right,
people are pointing out. I just lost it.
Okay.
It was gone.
I would say...
But the best ever is the USG Ishimura in Dead Space 2. The best ever is the USG Ishimura in Dead Space 2. So the USG Ishimura is the ship that Dead Space 1 takes place on. And in Dead Space 2, you must travel through it to get to a different part of the space station. And because the marker causes some, nightmare visions, you are repeatedly attacked by things that happened in Dead Space 1, but they're not happening for real. And then once you calm down and go, oh, that was just a Dead Space 1 flashback, they attack you with something real.
Okay.
From an unexpected angle that you wouldn't be able to deal with in Dead Space 1.
Okay.
It is
I'll get there.
A+.
I'll get there.
It is stellar.
The ones that come to mind for me are... give me a second to delete that.
Oh, yeah?
It's fine. Right away in Super Metroid... I really love that, like, one of the first areas you walk into is where you killed Mother Brain in original Metroid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the room you beat her in and escape is literally, like, it's right by the intro. And you walk through and you see the grids and a lot of those areas. That's a fun one. And there's a small one in Fear and Hunger. The Mayor's Manor kind of looks a lot like the Mayor's Manor in the way it's set up and stuff. But then I'm also remembering, of course, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. It was Anor Londo.
Right. But was it Firelink?
And much like RE9, the amount of time you actually spend in the same location is very minor. Right, like it's the main part of the castle, and like you find the old Firelink Shrine, but like the actual amount of rooms is fairly small.
Because I remember when it was like, wait, is this Firelink? Is this Firelink? And then it takes a while, and then at the end of the fucking DLC, it's like, oh no, wait, okay, here you go. But yeah, those are some of the big ones. Cool. All right.
Personally, I'm a big fan of if you're going to return to an area and do a kind of like, remember this place? You need to be sparing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's only so long I can spend in the, remember this? Before I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Oh, fuck, the Librarian Near.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
Forgot about that. Cool, yep. All right, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Much better emails this week.
There you go. I will see y'all in Toronto. Come hang out.
And we might do the podcast this coming Tuesday.
I'll let you know. Take care.
All right.